Hello, 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 everybody. Hey,
Alright.
Ohio. Ohio.
Ohio.
My God. You know what? Whether you watched Konosuba in like the sub or the dub, I think both are like just good knockouts.
I would love if they just didn't change that for the sub or the dub. They just keep it the same.
Oh yeah, like if the English dub actually just says Ohio, did you sleep well?
Ohio.
My God, man, that movie's such a trip. I'm so happy. Like, I don't know how I feel. I think I've talked about this before, but you know how continuations will have like movie adaptations. Demon Slayer is one example, but eventually adapted that arc into like episodic stuff. But I think there is a place for that. It's just that like it can be kind of weird if you don't have like, let's say for example, the whole like live like episode listing and then the movie streamable. Like if you took one out over the other one, it's kind of like really strange in that case. But thankfully, from what I remember, both episodes and the movie are just like you can totally just check them out whenever you want to, which is great. So honestly, like it'd be interesting to see how like Konosuba would like divide that movie into like episodes. I don't even know how many episodes that'd actually be. Probably like 3 to 4, maybe, to resolve everything. But I don't know. All I know is that for what we understand, they are still continuing on with the next season for it, but we have no idea when that's going to be. So we'll just have to just be patient about that, and hopefully we'll hear some news about that. Hold on. No, we haven't even done the intro yet, and here we are going off. Let me just go ahead and start. Yeah, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. So, hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin. And you're watching and or listening to episode 410 of DangIT Prodcast. Obviously, we're talking about Konosuba, but no, it's not quite that one. We're actually going to talk about a bit of Marvel stuff, to some capacity, right? I'm just gonna. I'm pretty sure.
We're saving the full talk for after I see it.
Right. So, is that for both? Whatchamacalls it? That's for both Moon Knight and Doctor Strange.
No, Moon Knight's fine.
Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. We can kind of dive into that for a little bit.
Because I saw that, but my fiance doesn't get off until Tuesday, and we could go Sunday, but I said, well, why would you go see it sooner? She's like, because it's cheaper on Tuesday. And I was like, I guess there's sense in that, but we could go see it sooner. She's like, are you the one paying for the tickets? I was like, fair enough.
all right, that's fair. That's super fair. I apologize.
I was like, I am so sorry.
I have overstepped, and I apologize. And she's like, okay, they're watching it on Tuesday. Yes, ma'am.
Tuesday is yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Mark, is 4 a.m. Yes, dear.
Yes, dear. Are you coming to bed? Yes, dear.
Oh my God, SpongeBob. It was so real.
Just put that with me talking to some people super late on Discord. Time to go to bed. Coming to bed? Yes, dear. I can't. I'm married.
I'm married. Ooh, but let me go ahead and just kind of start off with just like a bit of an initial impression on Doctor Strange real quick. So the first movie, right? No, we're talking about Multiverse of Madness. Great movie, by the way. Just straight up, it's like it's visually just crazy. And that's just a given. It's just a given with the cast of characters that we have on this one, but it's a visual trip for sure.
Is it as much as a mind obliteration as the first one was in terms of visual effects?
I would say yeah. It's a pretty safe yeah.
Because the first one was pretty trippy.
Right, because it really was like further in depth. We talked about like that little pocket space where you can actually utilize as like kind of like your battleground, and it doesn't affect anything in the real world. Here it's not so much that.
Domain expansion.
Domain it really is domain expansion. Hey yo, props to Peter, by the way. Peter. Honestly, I won't really make comparisons between No Way Home versus Multiverse of Madness, but this one's fantastic. I will tell you right now that the trailers did a really good job not telling you anything about that plot at all. I
Well, I'm
literally sat
expecting
in
the
there with no
I'm expecting
expectations whatsoever because I was like, I didn't really get much out of the trailers. It was like I see some like cool magic stuff here. Oh, there's Scarlet Witch and there's Doctor Strange, and there's a buzzsaw, and that's all I that's all I know.
there's Defender Strange.
Oh yeah, there's also like the other Strange as well in the trailers.
Yeah, where
There's
he's a part of Marvel's Defenders.
mm, no, wait. Isn't Defenders is made up of well, initially I guess Jessica Jones, Luke Cage,
Cage,
um
Castle,
Castle?
Punisher.
Ooh, oh yeah, okay. Wait, is he actually a defender? I have no.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, here's the thing: 'cause the Defenders are like the Avengers. There's been several iterations of them.
Okay.
Like, yeah, there's been several Avengers and there's been several Defenders.
Hmm. All right, fair enough. Um and as far as all of that, that's all I can really say. As far as like just characters incoming, and like honestly, it's a 2 hour movie and they have jam packed with a bunch of like stuff. That's all you
A
really
lot of
say.
cameos.
What was that?
I'm expecting tons of cameos for future projects.
Yes. Um I can't really say anything. No, I cannot say anything about cameos whatsoever, but if you've heard anything else on the internet, just be advised when you watch this.
I mean, I was already confirmed something about Patrick Stewart.
Oh yeah, that's also in the trailer too. You just hear the voice and just him like rolling and sliding into like the
So
shot.
of course, we know, yes, Professor X is in the movie.
I can neither confirm or deny that.
Oh, come on. The wheelchair, the voice, everyone knows. Yeah, that's not even a spoiler. Everyone knows.
Listen, you can draw your own conclusions.
Come on.
It could
You'd
be
have to be
they could be
so
Sir
gullible not to know.
it could be Sir Neil Patrick Harris or Stewart, sorry, about him like hopping in for a cameo. For what role? I don't. Go watch the movie.
Because of course they're gonna redo X-Men, so this is their perfect opportunity to introduce Professor X.
Yeah, no, there's not much I can really say after the fact. There's
He's not saying I'm wrong, but
I can't say that you're right or wrong, but you also are kind of wrong.
am I completely wrong? Am I completely wrong?
You're not completely wrong. You might be right. You might be wrong. It could be both.
Yes, but also no.
Here, all right. So, a couple things to take away from the movie is that it's visually just crazy. It deserves the horror tag on its.
Does it really?
Yeah, it's actually pretty good on that because it's like it deviates from like horror films, but there's like some common tropes that if you know it, you can expect it.
So it's got the tropes, but not exactly.
Yeah, it's got the tropes, but it's not like fully centered around it.
Like, it's not scary, but it's like, oh.
It's like kind of unsettling in most like things that's applying the trope to. So I was like, whoa, dude.
Like, it just makes you go, whoa.
Yeah.
The second thing's like, whoa.
And 3, Wanda's an absolute menace.
I mean, we knew this.
Like, you don't even want to mess with her in this movie. Fuck.
Oh, trust me. I think we all knew this.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, if you've all watched WandaVision, like, she does a lot of considerable damage to the point where, like, I mean, even in like Endgame, she was already a menace, right? She honestly, and I feel like at the end of WandaVision, Wanda is just like at her peak, without any like other like things to tap into as far as like anything outside of the universe, right? And it's just, I think she could really just solo like the Thanos army, really. After what I saw in this movie, I was like, oh no, man, dude.
If she was at full power, she absolutely could have.
So that's all I could really say about Wanda in this one. Strange goes through quite a bit too. I will say, yeah, because You know how like we last saw Strange in No Way Home, and he had like a minor role. It was also like pretty well integrated into what Peter was going through, but for the most part, he didn't really do too much like interference on his end because of the story like complexity, or well, yeah, because of the story and what's like all about. But I feel like this also did a good job, just kind of like diving into like Steven as a character versus just being a sorcerer. So it's definitely like, oh man, there's so many things that happen in this 2 hour movie. It's crazy, but yeah, 100% recommend that. A lot of implications as to like what happens in the future.
A lot of cameos.
Lots of cameos in this one, so you'll be happy when you see them.
Those what if tie-ins.
Mm-hmm. The what ifs tie-ins, and I think at the end of the day, you'll take away from the movie a feeling of some happiness for Steven and just a little bit of sadness here and there. It's
A lot of depression.
yeah, it's sad when we're talking about Wanda wanting to see her kids. Yeah, it hits.
I figured they'd be involved in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like we all kind of assumed that after WandaVision, like obviously like the kids will be involved somehow.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, man, dude, all I know is that people are just like watch out for like especially for like those who have like really loved Wanda like over the course of WandaVision. They're gonna see this movie, and they're also gonna like you're gonna see millions of repostings of things. So watch out. But I think that's all I can really say. I'll definitely like talk more like after we get like another person who's watched the movie as well.
The
Probably
question
next
is,
week.
how many different franchises within Marvel did they point out to?
Different franchises. Probably just just like anything within the Marvel comics.
That's what I mean. I'm saying like how many different groups?
Uh
Is it more than 5?
Actually, let me think. Does it involve individual characters?
Characters and groups.
Characters and groups. It's kind of within that ballpark.
So like well around like we'll say between like 5 and 10.
It's somewhere within that like ballpark. Probably
Because I
lesser
figured
than 10.
I figured they'd use the multiverse as kind of like advertising space.
Yeah. I think it's also like in tandem with like No Way Home's thing going on there too.
Yeah, and of course like I'm expecting it to tie in with Loki.
Hmm. Well, I can't really say too much.
At least to some degree.
I unfortunately can't say any more than that. So I just can't wait to see how you walk out of that movie on this one.
Oh, you know I might have a lot to say.
Wait, what's the one?
I said, oh, you know I'm gonna have a lot to say.
Yes, for sure.
I always do.
I always has been.
That's my secret, Cap.
I always have something to say. You did not. Oh boy. But we can't talk about Moon Knight, right?
Oh yeah, Moon Knight. That's completely
Yeah. All right.
full send. If only Phil was here to talk about it too.
Yeah. Honestly, he said his piece like on his Discord as well. I will give him a shout out at Motion Man 64. He says
We will now read Phil's statement.
Can you actually pull that up? I don't.
Yeah, I just gotta know where it is.
I was gonna say, where's my phone? Oh, it's always in my pocket. That's what's going on. Always has been.
Is it over in his Discord?
Actually, hold on. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Phil might actually be able to jump in. He didn't have to. He didn't watch Doctor Strange though, so thank goodness we kind of covered that real quick. But yeah, we can.
It says he just got out of Doctor Strange at 3:56.
Oh, really? Did he? Oh, my fault. My fault. I misread
We'll
that.
write all about his feelings when he gets home. Obviously, in the spoiler channel only.
All the more reason. But I think with this one, yeah, I'll just jump to the spoilers. Apologies for everybody, but this is a spoiler warning for Moon Knight, pretty much the entire season, up to season finale. I just want to say like a real quick thing that I remember for the most part in episode 6 was the fact that like Mr. Knight went in and it was glorious to see it.
They actually made Steven cool for the last episode.
I was so happy. I guess that trigger in episode 5 was just what he needed to like go kick butt. That's it.
I think it's because he realized, wait a minute, you're me and I'm you, which means we should have the same skills.
This is true. It's just like it's just muscle memory.
Yeah, that's what combat training is. It's literally all not memory, muscle memory.
Hmm.
So
So,
technically, physical combat capabilities. I don't know if it's ever been tested in DID before, but
mhm.
theoretically, it's possible.
You might want to ask your friends about that one. I'm kind of
Yeah,
curious.
yeah, I would assume muscle memory is different from the mind.
Hmm. Like if any one of them could do like a perfect cartwheel, and you ask the other like identity if they could do that, it's like I know that the other one has done it. I could probably try. Like, hold on, give me a second. And they do it. It's
Oh, I
like,
did it.
oh, oh, I did it.
If I know that I know I asked them this question, like if one of them was intoxicated, would the rest of them be? And the answer is yes.
Damn. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I get that.
It's because they share a body.
They share the body. They share the brain. So everything is just
So
kind of like,
naturally,
mm-hmm. So in this case, like those events in which like Mark and Steven share the body and they get hit, like they both feel that. So even
I
though
like their
like
dynamic in the
yeah,
final episode.
final episode has them fighting in tandem, well, back to back. They're capable
Hulk
like
and Banner style.
yeah. And I do like the fact that they have the Mr. Knight design to really distinguish these two, because well, that cool bit was the fact that like what was it, Khonshu's powers on them allow them to reflect, I guess, themselves, but like Steven's kind of different. He applies like something different to the power, so physically he
Yep.
doesn't have cape, and he actually was able to utilize that in the fight midair. I thought that was super cool, and I feel like their fighting styles are also kind of a little bit different. I think
Different but similar.
similar, right? I think that Mark Spector's version really just utilizes just like sharp blades. He is able to just kind of like soar around. And Mr. Knight's just down on the ground, and he literally will slug people with his fists or with his batons. And I was like, yeah, all right,
Yeah,
no, that's
uses
super
collie
cool.
sticks.
I like it. I
Yeah, it's
like.
another name for those. You can either call them batons or collie sticks.
Mm. Where's the origination, or where'd that name originate from?
Uh, if their name is anything to go by, because I'm not exactly sure, but if it's called, since I've seen them in Modern Warfare before. They had them as melee weapons, collie sticks. If they're similar looking, it's they might just be regular batons, but if they are collie sticks, the name Kali, I believe, comes from India,
Ooh, okay,
because Kali is a goddess in India, I believe.
nice. There's also like the pretty big thing in the episode, aside from like the stuff at the end, was the fact that what was it, Kayla actually was able to tap into powers as well.
Yeah, that was
Uh,
tight.
what was her name for that one?
It started with T.
Hmm. Because
I know he's what the hippo goddess.
oh yes, yeah, I just remember like people reference like the name because she's an actual like character aside from just
Yeah,
Kayla.
she's an actual goddess.
Hmm. But she pretty much has a kind of reminds you of why am I blanking on the other hero name? I'm blanking big
Falcon.
time. Falcon, thank you. It, I think it's kind of more of like a gliding mechanic though, but it is pretty much just sharp like
Teleret. Teleret's the name of the hippo.
oh yes. So Kayla's now an avatar as well. For how this could be used in like a possible season 2, we don't really know quite yet. I have bigger questions to ask about what happened at the end though. So what happens to Kayla can just be kind of like an afterthought after all that. But that is also really cool too. She's already like well capable of fighting, so she pretty much kind of just fits into just like fighting alongside Moon Knight. So I'm totally digging it.
And I believe they call her. Let's check here. I see. She's the MCU's version of the Scarlet Scarab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, no, that makes sense actually. I was thinking, what
Her
else did
design
I?
reminds me of ISIS. Not the terrorist organization, people. There is a goddess in Egyptian mythology called Isis.
Right, right. And I guess there's not really much I could really like add to her character. They've definitely kind of sprinkled in a lot of like her background throughout the couple episodes. She's kind of had it tough, but especially when she's been living with like MCU Mark, because it really is just one of those things where like we find out that Mark Spector had created Steven, and Steven had to come to terms with that, accepted that, and honestly, I really did like it, the fact that Mark Spector had the choice to just like move on and just kind of live peacefully in the afterlife, but
He's not leaving a man behind.
he looked back at Steven and he was like, nah, he deserves this too. And then
And luckily, the reuniting of their hearts undid the petrification.
that was really nice, because it really was like, oh, they bounced again. So I came into this episode thinking that Jake, the third personality, right, would be the thing to help offset the scale,
That was a
which
that
will
was a
allow,
theory that I had.
right, that allows him to jump back into the sands and go rescue Steven, but that was not the case. Instead, what they did, they decided to pull Jake in to do a like off-camera like enemy sweep and beat the hell out of
Buenos
everybody.
dias, boy.
It was so funny, the last shot, but it was one of those things where
Jack is
like,
no. You don't want to fuck with Jack.
yeah, no, like, so I don't even know, like, so
Do not fuck with Jack.
okay, all right, fair enough, we'll just leave it at that, because at the end, right, we got the bad dude, and it was like, okay, Concha's like, all
Yeah,
right,
Haro.
just kill him, yeah, Haro, and like, just kill him and we'll be done with this. And Mark's like, nah. Well, actually, he was about to do it, but Kayla kind of stopped him and like, don't do this. And he was like, all right, fine, you do this.
I liked that a lot. How they said like you got to take them down now, or they will do it again. You need to stop them before they do it. And they said you're starting to sound just like them.
This is
And he
true.
said like and then he threw the moon basically it's like a batarang essentially. The moon batarang just threw
Sure.
it away and just said like if you're gonna do it yourself.
Mm,
Like he's done being his hired gun.
right. And then that's when Concha was like, all right, so be it. And then like this shiny like flashlight takes us out and back into Steven / Mark's room at this point. He's chained up to his bed. They're like, oh, what happened? Did we do it? I guess so. Can't believe you live in this shitty place. And then that's when like the credits rolled, and I was like, what the hell? Why? Yo. What do you mean you resolved it? But thankfully, if you stuck around to the mid-credit scene, it showed Haro in the psychic ward, similar to where Mark and Steven were at. But he was immediately pulled out by an unknown person, right? We didn't really see what's going on. We only got to
He's
see
like, "What are
like,
you doing here? Don't worry, ma'am. I got this. Don't worry."
yeah. So Haro just kind of in his weird state, just kind of like hands over to all the things across the hallway. He sees dead people, and he's pulled into a limo, and he looks and sees on the other side of the limos there's Khonshu. He's like, oh my god,
Posted up in a suit.
I can't believe when you see Khonshu like sides down in a suit. I was like, oh my god, he played this. Even Haro was like, oh my god, Khonshu.
He said, "What? You can't touch us." And then he just said, "Oh, I know I can't, but he can." And just knocks on it.
This is Jake something and oh my god. What did he say? I forgot.
It was something in Spanish.
Yeah, they had the subtitles for it. I just don't remember what he actually like meant by that, but he just had
Buenos dias, fuckboy.
essentially he turns around, pulls out the silencer, and always just see always like, wait, hold it. And you just see like outside from the limo, you see like 3 like flashes, and the limo just pulls through with the Spectre license plate in the back.
Yep. Now we've been hinted at with Jack a few times because we know that because of course you remember the first time we get the hint at Jack was when he was fighting the Egyptian guys on the roof, and then
Yeah,
he's
I
like,
do remember that.
He said, "Steven, what did you do?" And then he's like, and Steven said it wasn't him. Then the second time was when they were in the that space again, and they saw that there was the one sarcophagus that was just shaking around.
Yes, that's true.
And then the third time was when they were in the final episode, they were about to lose the fight. Then they blacked out.
Yeah, it was pretty
Jack
bad.
fucked all of them up.
And here's the thing: we have to also keep in context the fact that like Kayla saw all of this and then removed what was holding her like wings out. So she either was in awe of what just happened, or awestruck by what happened, or it really just was that quick.
If they ever do a future connection to the MCU, I want to see if they just film a scene like that was filmed like something like a security cam caught what happened because I really want to see what happened.
It's so wild because that's so wild. So my
That was
my
probably a sick fight scene.
oh my god. I can't even like comprehend like how this dude literally just got everything to that state.
I'm terrified to see what his Moon Knight outfit will look like.
Oh my god. Yeah, good question. I'm really curious about
Metal
that.
as fuck.
Oh, that's the crazy thing about Conchu though. Like, did Conchu know about this? Being,
He probably if he knew about Steven,
yeah, you. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right.
and plus, I mean, even Haro knew. Like he said, and whatever else might be, and whoever else might be trapped inside of you.
I think that might be more of a like like if there's Steven, there might be someone else. I don't know. Listen, you're dead.
Oh, because he used the scales and he sees everything about that person.
Oh, that's right. But
He
then
would know Jack's in there.
I guess he would also know about the name too,
Yeah,
probably. But you know,
but and we also know that well, it's like this in the comics. The way it worked was, well, it was just Mark. It was Mark Spector, and he needed for different jobs he would need different personas. So, say if he
yeah,
wanted to pretend to be a rich man, he would be Stephen Grant. Say if he just wanted to blend in, for these kind of other kinds of jobs, he'd be Jack, a taxi driver.
mm,
And of course, after using those oh so many times, he kind of started losing sense of who he was.
I can see that.
It's like when you play those roles way too often, you kind of like it's possible that someone doing it so much could kind of lose their sense of like individuality or the sense of self.
Yeah, shout outs and rest in peace, Heath Ledger. That seemed like one of the prime examples of just like losing yourself in that type of role.
Jesus Christ.
That was insane, dude. But I mean, the results just like told us like upfront, like,
Don't do that.
but yeah, don't actually do that. I also
But
remember I watched like a clip of My Hero that featured twice and like how he kind of came to be. Yeah, yeah, that does it to you.
yeah, when there's so many of you, you forget which one's the real you.
Hmm.
That's yikes.
Oh man, dude, I do like the thought behind that. Like they actually they actually created like twice as that character and actually thought about like how you really lose yourself and you don't even know who you are, and that just attributes to you kind of just instead of being like twice is just generally a good person, but unfortunately something happened.
Dramatic.
So
It's also his trauma was also. It's like when you think about it, he wonders if he's the real one or if he's a copy. If the
mm,
real you died, wouldn't your quirk stop working?
I guess I was just naturally blocked out from him for some
Yeah, as
reason.
you're saying, I feel like the logic wasn't applying to him in that situation.
Yeah. It would take Deku to like explain that for him to be like, oh no, you're right.
Dare say, like, if you weren't, trust me, you wouldn't be here.
Hmm. But what what were we going
There
off
there
of?
was there was no Marvel tie-in though, which is what that was probably Phil's biggest complaint was there was no
Oh
tie-in at the
yeah,
end.
yeah. Except for like Eternals, and that was like a little cameo. Like honest, it could be like you blink it, you miss it type of thing. Where
Was there?
apparently the guy, our tech guy in Eternals was actually on that bus where Steven was already mid losing it.
Was he?
Apparently so. We'd have to check back on that, but
I do love that guy.
he's pretty dope
He's
actually.
such a sweet guy.
He's like the most down to earth out of all the Eternals. I feel there's Cersei, but like it was literally down to earth. But nah, he's super cool. Hope we can see a little bit more about that, but it feels like
Thank you so much for protecting us. I will miss you all.
yeah.
Such a nice guy.
I was gonna say, as the rest of the team just like go in their flying triangle up in the sky.
I will miss you all very much.
Oh yeah, that too. I like that dude too.
Did you get? I got it,
I
sir.
got I got this.
Oh, that was the one I was talking about. Were you talking about the other guy?
Oh, yeah, I was talking about the other guy.
You're talking about the one that's actually an Eternal.
Yes. Well, wait, no, he's also Eternal too.
No, not the guy who films it.
No, not that. Talk about the tech guy, the one who like really like theorizes and invents stuff.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that dude. Although, like, I do like the other guy too, he's just like, don't shoot. And I was like, whoa, he really did that.
Did you get that? I got it, sir.
But yeah, no, shout outs to him. But yeah, again, that was just like the smallest cameo was just like our dude was just like on a bus, I guess on the same bus, and I don't know if it's just a similar likeness of like face among the entire crowd, or it was just one of those things where they intentionally put him in there just to show that either he's going to be part of that or just simply as just a cameo, strictly cameo, like like a Stan like a Stan Lee light cameo.
Like Stanley Light cameo.
The difference is that he doesn't have like any lines to read. But aside from that, there's no other tie-ins really. I'm honestly at a point where like humanity just has to deal with this at all times. Little thing just popping out of the ocean like in one side of the place. Um, some weird like vine like engross like come out of the earth in another like portion at a different time. Aliens invading in another time. It's just like Earth has it the worst.
Earth has it the worst.
Like they don't even know what to do with all this. All they can do is be like, "Oh, look, the Avengers," and just hope that they'll be okay.
And I mean, he could also just very likely just reappear at any point.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, like I could see how they can tie in other characters, but just simply keeping tabs on them. The same way it's how like Doctor Strange like knew about like Thor and Loki just could be on Earth, and so he reaches out to Thor, just tell him like, hey, listen, I know you got your brother here. He's dangerous here, and I kind of want him out. So can you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's interesting. So I think if anyone like just Doctor Strange and pretty much just like his community can really just be like watching closely on just any aspect of life. I mean, they literally just picked up Shang-Chi. Like,
And it says here, Moon Knight director confirms 2 Marvel crossovers got scrapped.
oh no.
There was
So
one at the
they
beginning and there was one at the end, and they decided, you know what? As the story progressed, they're like, we don't need those.
no, that means they could possibly pick that up later.
Yeah, it means like they could legit at any point, like he could just come back at any point.
Mm-hmm. I guess that's all
Which
we
is just
can.
the way the story developed. I guess the director felt like there wasn't much sense in some of those crossovers.
Mm, alrighty. I mean, they could have like name dropped something. That'd be great.
True.
Yeah, it was odd. Oddly enough, they didn't actually like mention any of that whatsoever in Moon Knight. Uh, versus like all the other shows, which like literally have just like referenced them for the sake of just chronologically like telling that story. I think if anything, Loki was like the big example of just referencing old stuff just to kind of catch you up on where exactly he is now.
Hmm.
But yeah, as far as Moon Knight, like it's one of those that I'm really wanting to see more of that, because the way they ended it really could have just been a thing where like it's a toss up. It could be part of the MCU like later, or like in the near future, or just not. They just have it set up where it's like they don't even really do anything to just kind of like weave it into like the MCU. It just kind of sits there currently in space, just right there.
I think he'll definitely be back.
I hope so.
And I will also say, I think that we could. It's very very possible. Like I think that it would make actually like I think it would make a lot of sense to have him show up with Shang-Chi.
Yeah, like, uh, mm, I was thinking like,
Due to their
what if all the
due to both of their like heavy influences in mythology.
oh, actually, yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that then. I was really thinking like, oh, you want to get all the Disney Plus characters in into one and just make them Avengers 2. Nah, it's no, that makes sense
Well,
actually.
there's the Avengers, there's the Secret Avengers, there's the Dark Avengers.
And then there's the Tokyo Revengers.
You went out the name of Avengers and just went with something that rhymed with it.
Listen, I tried to come up with something. That's what I got. Listen, I mean, wouldn't that be a superpower if you just handshake a certain person and you go back in time? Like,
You just go back, shake their hand.
that's all. That's my superpower. I shake hands. I go back in time.
But the thing is, I'm here because I'm trying to fix shit.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, but it's yeah, Moon Knight's just like a really interesting character with like some interesting powers too. I think really the DID really just like cements that as like a really unique character, and very complex too, because you kind of have to wonder like, oh damn, dude, like you think this guy's really capable of doing something like crime fighting things, and you see this, and you're like, oh, you're right, my fault.
Right, he can fight crime. He can fight crime.
He can he'll fight crime and then some. I have a question though, because like Khonshu only like kills those who would commit evil, right? The
Those who have
idea
committed.
the you have committed evil, right? And the main antagonist in this case, Haro, awakens what was it, Amit? And
Yeah.
and she's all about like, you know, these people are like predestined to do bad, so let's just get rid of them beforehand. And so here comes the it, kind of low-key like funny scene where it's like everyone starts getting like possessed, and they immediately start reaching out to hands. And it's just like
It was
so
rough.
it was real rough during that time, but it was really a sequence of people just like reaching out to other people's hands just to check them real quick. But my thing is that with Jake, for example, where he literally just killed all those people in the hospital, right? Is that allowed? Like, did those folk do bad
I
things?
mean, I only saw one person.
There's one dude like at the end of the hallway
There's
who's just knocked out. I
there
don't know if I saw blood there.
yeah. There was one guy on the ground. I didn't see anybody else though.
There's a part where Haro actually looks to his left at the camera, and the camera pans over. It shows another guy like down the floor, but it's like
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
the one.
like in the darker like spot right there.
Yeah, that's the one. The guy that was in the blue. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. No, there was another guy like right at the door at the far end of the hallway that they're walking out of just leave the hospital that was knocked out. I don't know if blood was there, but that dude was out.
Out cold.
So I think there was like at least two people there, and I'm pretty sure both of them died. And I'm over here like, well, like I understand if Khonshu needs like another person to like help like with his
Like,
goal in
chill.
mind, But yeah, like chill. Like, is this okay? Because really, like all the killings that happened in Moon Knight, um, Mark and or Steven, mainly Mark, had full agency and therefore killed as many people as humanly possible. Where Conchu's like, whoa, I just want to kill those who have done it already. So
Bad ones.
right, so like if they assault you, that's a first offense. I like, okay, I'll allow it. I don't know. Like I feel like Conchu can kind of like bend like there and back depending on like if it like works in his favor. Like he's not, he has the wrong he has good intentions, right? But like on top of like the bad execution of it, like literal execution, I just don't know how I feel about that. Like I'm kind of on the same boat as like Steven and Mark in the sense that like you can't really trust Conchu that way. Like he's a cool guy to talk to, but like you wouldn't trust him.
Little shady.
Yeah, little shade, little shady. I'm not sure about that one. That Conchu, that 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 bird skeletal removed body. His head was literally just like floating from his entire body. It was so weird.
Pretty much. It was just him in a suit posted up in the limo.
It was so funny. He got dapper for this execution. Even though no one can see him. Well, actually, question, maybe people can see him? It's weird.
As far as I'm aware.
Because, yeah, remember when it was Haro and Steven, like Steven was just taken to just like this little community site that Haro had, and no one like looked, like not even Haro could actually see Khonshu. He could only just assume like he's over there, right? He's saying this, he's saying that. It's like, how do you know? It's like, because I used to be his avatar, so I know like how he's gonna be. I don't see him in this scene, but I feel him. But later on they kind of did away with it, so I'm not sure about the consistency there, because Halo was able to see him, and I can understand that because she actually like touched like the seal and broke him out. But it was interesting because Haro then proceeded to see him in the chamber, which makes sense, but also like kind of outside. So I don't know what to say about that one, but I just wanted to.
Phil wants to jump in.
Oh, Phil wants to smoke. Sorry, not the smoke. Hold on. Is he actually part of this? Give me one moment.
Unless he actually does want the smoke.
Does he want the smoke?
I'm gonna get a snack while you take care of that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you want the smoke, Ed boy? Hello, Ed boy. You want the smoke, yes?
So,
hello, Ed boy. Many doors, yes?
life has many multiverses, Ed boy. Hold up 1 minute.
Okay, got you. All right. Phil's with us. Oh boy. Such things to talk about. Oh man. Ooh, but is there anything else I can bring up while, oh wait, never mind, he's back. Hello,
Okay,
Ed boy. Many ways to get fucked, yes?
Oh, wow, okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, that was my cameo. Bye, everybody.
No!
made the sick cameo appearance, you already know.
Alright, where's the pay?
Oh, okay, what'd I miss?
Okay, so I did a really quick first impressions of Doctor Strange, right? Mark hasn't seen it. He's going to see it on Tuesday. So he had some questions. I just told him that I cannot confirm or deny anything beyond like cameos.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's the thing. If he's going to ask questions, right, I can only confirm to you general things, but not story, plot, like nothing in the plot. I don't want to confirm cameos, and I don't want to confirm I can confirm certain things essentially. And
Okay.
then but I can confirm that I love the movie.
Yes. Right. So I told Mark that like there's three things I took out of this. That one, what was my first one? Anyway, the second thing, no. First thing was the fact that the trailers did a really good job not really telling you what the plot is.
Exactly.
I was just so like, okay, so the thing I saw about the trailer was there's Doctor Strange, right? There's Wanda, and there's a buzzsaw. That's all I know about this movie.
The trailers did a very, very good job of covering up everything about that movie.
Right.
I will say this. This is not spoilers. Obviously, you can tell he's in the trailer. I feel like if they just didn't tease Patrick Stewart, if they just didn't tease him, he would have been the best cameo in there.
What are you talking about?
What you know about the X-Men then?
I was gonna say no. That could just be a cameo of Sir Patrick Stewart. That's it.
It's just straight up. No, everyone knows. It was in the trailers. You all saw it. You all know
it. I said, Justin, there's no point in denying it.
I mean,
there's no point in denying that.
You can draw your own conclusions.
Listen, I'm not gonna tell you what he does. I'm just gonna say that he was there, and I honestly think that would have been the biggest cameo had they not teased him.
Yeah.
Had they not
a huge future thing.
Not really, and that's where I can't tell you.
Yeah, we can't say anything else.
I'm just saying it could.
Regarding the cameos, cannot say.
No. Here's the problem. You would think that's what it's teasing. That's what I thought. Nope. Let's just go with nope.
That's already revealing a lot.
That's already saying too much.
Phil, I have something to react to what you just said with. I have it for just occasions just like this.
For occasions just like this. For a moment like this, some people say.
Are you sending it in the Discord?
Yes.
Oh God.
Some people wait a lifetime.
There is a cameo that was fantastic, and I couldn't.
Yeah, you can't. It really
was amazing.
Yeah.
There was a cameo. The whole theater in my theater, there wasn't too many, but there was everyone screamed. I was like, ooh, and I was like, it was amazing. And then I had to explain to Katrina
what was going on.
Yeah, because it's weird, right? Because let's face it, like we can talk about the Illuminati since they're confirmed. They are
the fact that they actually include that in Marvel is beyond words.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Me too.
It's not exactly how it is in the comics. There are some changes, but yes.
Okay.
Yes, I should just confirm that now that it's not exactly what I want to keep people's expectations in check, because I'm sure people have read some of the reviews out there. As far as cameos go, there really isn't that much. It actually is pretty straightforward as a movie.
Yeah, actually. I was like really shocked about that.
This was not a cameo fest like it was in like No Way Home or Spider-Man. Sorry.
Like, and I also feel like No Way Home like set up the expectation that like everything was about that and Loki as well. Like all of it just kind of would cause a bunch of things to just kind of happen, but they kept it really contained in this movie. That's all I can really say.
I feel like if you're walking into this thinking that it's going to be a big Marvel fest of like cameos and stuff, please keep your expectations in check now. I'm going to tell you that right now. And there is really cool things.
Yeah.
There is really cool Marvel lore, but please keep your expectations in check because it's not that kind of film. What it is, though, is a fucking Sam Raimi film. I swear to God, every fucking frame, I was like, yo, this is just Evil Dead 4. What am I doing? What am I even watching? Bro, I'm not going to say which scene, but I'm sure Justin will know what I'm talking about. There is a specific scene where the camera's in first person and it's kind of tilted and you can see whoever they're trying to see, like behind a certain like staircase. And the way it moves, I was like, bro, is this really a fucking Deadite camera right now? Is this real? Is this really just Evil Dead 1 and 2? Where like, because this is a thing he does in Evil Dead, where like the Deadite or the creature that gets summoned from the Necronomicon is just first person. You never actually see the demon or the spirit possessing the person, so it just kind of moves. Like the camera just kind of fucking moves.
Very specific camera like requesting.
Very specific camera. I'll confirm this because I don't know if there's a lot of Evil Dead fans in the chat or anywhere.
Oh, okay.
But Bruce Campbell does make an appearance. That was fucking brilliant.
Hmm.
I almost cried when I saw him. I was like, beautiful. That's all I needed to see. He's not Ash Williams, unfortunately. I don't think Disney was going to let him get away with a rated R film, but
Not so fast.
yeah.
I will say this
Well,
one.
because
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, it's because it's funny because in Marvel Zombies, like the comics, that's why they're zombies, is because Ash Williams gets sent into their universe
No.
and someone reads the Necronomicon in their universe and it turns them to Deadites.
Oh no.
So it's his fault. So that's why I thought when I heard Sam Raimi's directing this film, I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay. But since we're all here, I'm just gonna reiterate that like there was 3 things I took away from this movie. That one,
Okay.
shoot, I keep forgetting what that first one is.
It's in the Discord for you, by the way, Phil.
Oh, okay.
Checking right now.
Okay, I'll check that too.
Oh my god. It's not letting me load it.
Yeah, same. It's like a 0 like second clip. But I'll just
Yeah, it probably didn't buffer correctly, so I will check that once I'm done.
Yeah, for sure.
If it does work, click the link directly.
Yeah. Is that all you guys been talking about, Doctor Strange?
We talked about Moon Knight for a bit.
Okay.
Try to like summarize as best as we could, but the second takeaway actually, sorry, that the movie does deserve that horror tag on it.
Yeah. It's
sure.
it's a Sam Raimi film, and that's a big thing that people need to remember. Listen, you literally have the best setup for a horror film. It's Sam Raimi directing it, and then you have Danny Elfman doing the score. Danny Elfman is like Nightmare Before Christmas style shit. Like,
yeah, shouts to the score. Actually, that was really good.
Oh my god, yo, that was the most. Once again, I'm gonna say this phrase. That was the most Danny Elfman score I've ever fucking heard in my life. I was like, oh my god, this shit sounds like Nightmare Before Christmas. I love it.
Is that oh, holy shit, Danny Elfman, man, this sounds like Danny Elfman.
Yeah, dude, the fucking every time the guitars hit, I was like, oh, ooh, it's good. Ooh, it's good. He does a lot of rock inspired like tracks. It's really good.
I heard that
it's
near
really
the end of the movie. I was like, oh, interesting.
Very, very creepy. Very like everything fits the role so perfectly. Everything, every single piece of track that was in there, even if it was like jumps, it was perfect. Everything was timed.
Yeah. And last thing, no context. Luana's an absolute menace. That's all.
Yeah, definitely the strongest Avenger. Thor can retire that hat.
Yeah. So what you doing?
Strongest Avenger.
Strongest Avenger. Thor can retire the hat right now. Let me say this. Elizabeth Olsen's acting. Oh my god.
It's really good.
It's pretty crazy because she pretty much steals the show. Like her acting is incredible. Like the way she has to deal with like trauma, like the PTSD and everything. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, dude. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's all I could really say about the movie. It's 100% recommend it.
Without ruining plot, yeah. I mean, I like the Bruce Campbell cameos. That was really fun. That made me laugh a little too hard, but yeah. But I can only say that I will say this though. It only pushes the story forward a tiny bit. I wish there was more to push the fucking series forward.
Yeah.
And the thing is, coming off of Moon Knight, I was really like, yo, man, I can't wait for something to finally go forward.
Mm-hmm.
And it does.
It does.
Like,
I guess this is a good time to say it, but there are mid-credit scenes. I stuck around for mid-credits. I don't know if there's any like post-credit scene though.
Oh, you missed the best Bruce Campbell cameo.
Oh, all right.
He's in one scene in the movie, and then he's also at the very end.
Oh, okay. All right.
And I'm okay. I'll do this without context. He's still punching himself, and then he looks at the camera and straight up says, and stops punching, and he goes, "It's done!" And then the cuts end. It's so beautiful. I love it. I'm not
Oh
gonna
my
spoil
God.
why he's punching himself, but yes, it's so good.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
Yeah, that was, if anybody doesn't know, that was Bruce Campbell, the original guy who plays Ash Williams.
It's so great.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, I'm glad though, because I know mid credits will definitely kind of give you a sneak peek at what's to happen, but post credits will be something just like for that like
Yeah.
inside bit. So
I do want to talk about a little bit of the designs and stuff about in the movie.
okay.
Again, once again, this is totally an Evil Dead 4 movie. I swear to God, everything. Whenever there are zombies and stuff, and I can say that because it's in the trailers. Whenever there's creatures and there's zombies and all this other crazy shit, it literally looks like Deadites from Evil Dead, or more specifically, Army of Darkness.
Okay.
Very specific Army of Darkness, because there's a lot of those, and the violence is schlocky as all hell, and I love it.
I should also say, yeah, it's a pretty like violent dark movie.
Gory. There was some gory parts. I was like, whoa, they let that shit get away? Like, whoa, Disney, hello?
There's even one that's just like where my theater was pretty silent, except for like some cameos here and there, but there was a specific like impact
I know which
here
one
and
you're
there.
talking about.
And it was like
I know which one you're talking about. Everyone at my theater went, ooh, and I was like, damn. Yo, they did that. Also in that scene is also very Evil Dead as well. Like
Oh, really?
they've done that before. Yeah.
nice.
I know which one we're talking about. I know which scene you're talking about, and yeah, they've done that before.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Like
really cool.
that's nuts, dude.
This is a very Sam Raimi film, and if you do not like his style, you're not gonna like this movie. Like 100%.
I thought it was
This
a
is
breath
why-
of fresh air, actually.
It's very good. I think here's the thing. This is like the end all of my review.
Mhm.
If you don't like Sam Raimi's style, you're not gonna like the movie. Like I'm gonna say that straight up. It's not the best Marvel movie.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites.
All right.
I'm gonna take it like this. It's not the best Marvel film. It doesn't really reach those kind of heights,
Sure.
but it's personally one of my favorites. Only because I'm an Evil Dead fan. So I guess that's I'm an unapologetic Evil Dead fan. So it could be as bad as all it wants. I was just gonna be like, wow, look at the references.
Look at that cameo.
Also, all I'm gonna say is, why Sam Raimi? Why the tree reference? That's disgusting. You're a sick bastard. Anyways, continue.
Okay.
There's a reference at the beginning of the movie. I'm gonna say that it involves America Chavez, where she's like tied up, and I'm like, no, please don't do this. please don't reenact Evil Dead right now. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that in the Marvel movie. If you know the tree reference, you know, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
It happens in almost every Evil Dead film, and it's terrible.
Well, we did talk about Moon Knight real quick. Since like Marcus also watched it, we did talk about like a bit of the spoilers here and there.
Okay, cool.
We're talking about all the spoilers.
Yeah.
I just want to briefly mention it since you guys already talked about it. My issue is that it doesn't push the series anywhere. It just kind of is its own self-contained thing.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm sure they'll bring it up in a future thing somewhere.
But
so.
It doesn't give you that satisfaction of knowing it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it doesn't even, it sets up some kind of season 2, but it doesn't even sell you it's gonna happen. It literally just ends, and you're like, oh, okay. Also, I understand why they had to black him out so that Jake could come out and kill everybody. But what a waste of an end fight.
Honestly, that's what I said. I said
that's what I was thinking too.
That fight scene must have been fucking sick.
That would have been some of the sickest like action in a Marvel film ever, or any Marvel project, and they decided to just completely black it out. It sucks. I do like Sacred Scarab. That was really cool.
Is that the actual name?
Yeah, that's her name, Sacred Scarab.
Got it.
Sacred Scarab, something Scarab. Let me double check on that. But it is something Scarab.
I think Mark, you were saying Scarlet Scarab.
Yeah.
It's Scarlet Scarab. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, that's really cool. Honestly, they might use her more than they'll use Moon Knight.
¿Por qué los dos?
Because Scarlet Scarab has something to do with Avengers.
Oh,
I mean, so does Moon Knight.
Kinda.
He's been in the Avengers.
The biggest thing is, from what I'm hearing, is they wanted to include Eternals references.
okay.
Yeah, there were 2 crossovers that were cut out.
Yeah, and that kind
They
of
were cut,
sucks.
they were cut out because the director felt the way the plot developed that they didn't really fit.
No.
I'm also really upset that they waited till the very end to talk about Jake.
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
if you,
I figured they would save Jake for something.
but the thing is, the problem with Moon Knight is you need to introduce all three, and you have to make sure that the viewer understands like all three of the characteristics that go into Moon Knight. Because if
Oh,
not, you're going to be
that's what
confused as
season 2
hell.
is for.
I know.
Hmm.
So then what's season 2 about? Just straight up Jake?
It's about Jake and these 2 being like, "What the fuck? We're supposed to give us that release."
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And
Bro,
we're
he
taking
doesn't even know he's Moon Knight. That's terrible now.
we're taking this to court.
was I think that season 1 was all about
Judge
like setting up the
Osiris?
character, and they really could have just like dropped you with all three personalities switching back and forth. But considering how they did it, I still commend them for how they took care of like addressing like Steven first, then realizing it's Mark, and then trying to bounce these two. And then we didn't even really get to see like Moon Knight until like the end of episode 1 or 2. And it was just kind of like a slow buildup of like just them trying to figure themselves out so they could become like that superhero that we recognize. But I guess you're right. The problem is that we're missing the third link.
Yeah.
Who had less of an effect on impact, but also had a pretty big impact in where
Yeah.
the story went.
It was good though. I like Moon Knight. The ending is pretty unsatisfactory overall though.
Yeah.
And because of that, it's probably it's not a top tier show as much as I wanted it to be. I wanted it to end with a bang and it didn't, and that's the problem. Because
Hmm.
episode 5 was so brilliant. Episode 5 was like the best episode in that entire series.
Yeah.
Where would you rank it in your? Because there's been 5 Marvel shows. So there is a top 5 now. So
5?
which would you say it is amongst
It's
the top 5?
what do we have? WandaVision,
There's
Uh,
Falcon and
WandaVision,
the Winter
Captain.
Falcon Winter
Soldier,
Soldier,
Loki,
Loki.
What If,
Oh yeah, what if?
and Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. You're forgetting Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah,
Hawkeye is
that's
a thing.
That's why you said 5. I was like, I'm pretty sure there's more than
Okay.
that.
Well, we'll say for the live actions, we'll keep What If on the side.
No, that's not fair. What If's canon? If What If is canon, I'm gonna consider it part of the shows.
all right.
Okay,
Fair.
so which ones are in your top 5? Fair enough.
Okay. Okay, well that's kind of a loaded question because I'm not gonna put What If in
God
top
damn
5.
it, Phil!
I'm not gonna put What If in top 5 because it's not. What If was only really good to me personally towards the end.
I'm also gonna
Like,
say same there too.
He
Yeah.
said, well, no, you got to include What If.
Well,
Okay,
I am
tell me
including
which
What If. There you go. Number 6 is What If.
You're right.
You want me
no,
to tell
no,
you?
you're right. You're right.
So, honestly, Moon Knight's probably number 5.
Really?
I don't think it really lives up to the other
Did
shows.
the ending turn you
but
off
that's
that much?
the problem is it doesn't. How can I explain this without sounding dumb?
Okay.
The character's not established well enough to be like. I have a little bit of bias because all the other characters in the other shows were already established. Therefore, we're pushing the story forward. This absolutely does nothing to push the MCU forward.
It's his own self-contained like story progression that is also tied up with you needing to get to know the characters. Plural
Yeah,
characters.
come back to me if there is a season 2. That, and if it actually has a plot that can move the story forward, I might reconsider because I do like the violence. I do like the action scenes when they're there.
Mhm.
I do like the character of Moon Knight, and I liked how they handled his mental illness.
How they handled the psychology of it all.
They handled it very well. Ethan Hawke is incredible. He's a great actor, and having him as the villain is perfect.
And Oscar Isaac, we all know him as Poe, but you know what? He did a great job as fucking Moon Knight.
Yeah, he almost did as well as Elizabeth Olsen in WandaVision.
Yeah. You're right. That's
Yeah,
pretty fair.
dealing with having to like different like styles and personalities. Yeah,
I mean, and I would argue, like, yes, as unpopular as the sequel trilogy is, he's pretty good as Poe. I thought he was a good actor.
yeah. Well, that's Star Wars. We're not gonna get into that.
But I'm just saying, as
That's
an
all-
actor,
that's
even
all
then, I just give him props. Like,
Well, how dare you? He was Apocalypse. All right.
He was Apocalypse. Sorry, man. All the CGI, I couldn't tell. I couldn't see the resemblance.
Oh god. Anyways,
Motion tracker suit in the way.
yeah, I think it is my number 5. I think it is. It's down there. Now that I had some time to reflect on it, I think it builds up really well, and then it's just a pop like a balloon. You just popped it.
Also, I still need to watch What If.
What If is good.
It is, and
It's
it is good. I've heard. That's what I've heard. And don't get
the
me
thing.
wrong.
The
Don't get
reason
me wrong.
What If.
I love animated stuff. I love
Yeah.
animated stuff. I just need to watch them.
The thing with What If, and the reason why it's number 6 for me is not all of the stories hit well, in my opinion. Not all of them are amazing. Like the Captain Carter episode is kind of. I'll go through all 9 real quick.
Okay.
Captain Carter was whatever. It's not that entertaining. She's entertaining, but not the actual plot.
Sure. All right. Fair.
Second episode's good. That was a big one for Chadwick Boseman. Remember, What If is the last Chadwick Boseman project.
Yeah.
So him as Star-Lord is actually pretty funny. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I like that actually. Do remember
that. Episode 3 was kind of all right. The twist at the end was kind of cool. Not amazing though. That was if the Avengers were all killed.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. Episode 4 is fantastic. It's literally one of the best episodes in that thing. What if Doctor Strange didn't have or lost his heart? Which is important because that episode ties into Multiverse of Madness. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And I said that in the opening scenes for Doctor Strange. I looked at Katrina and I was like, huh. So it happens here too. Anyways.
It really is anyways.
Yeah, it really is anyways. Episode 5 was Marvel Zombies. Kind of cool. I liked it.
I liked that one.
Yeah. 6 was Killmonger saving Tony Stark. All right.
Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. 7 was kind of great. Party Thor was pretty fun.
Party Thor
was fun. And then 8 and 9 go together. They're one giant episode. And I would say 8 and 9 are the best episodes next to 4.
Yeah.
That storyline right there is really good. So that's why I think it's if I'm judging What If as a whole, yeah, it kind of goes down because most episodes are not good, not amazing.
All right.
But the 3 episodes, 4, 8, and 9, fantastic. Oh, Party Thor is fun too.
Shout out to Party Thor.
Party Thor is always fun. But yeah, I think that's my ranking for that. That's why What If so low. So for me, it's What If, Moon Knight. Let's see the other 4 real quick.
I just want to know how much does the ending factor into Moon Knight's 5th place ranking?
A lot.
I knew it.
It built up. The thing is, it built up a lot. Here's the thing, though. It at least has a better secret ending than Hawkeye.
Fair.
Hey, listen, I gotta give props at the very least for them just having a full number. I know they could do other things with that space.
Ridiculous. That was ridiculous. Fuck you, Marvel.
I can do this all day.
But made just for it.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Hawkeye's actual ending pushes the story forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True,
it sets up the next.
It's also pre-established. Like Moon Knight is just getting started.
Sure, but Hawkeye starts up another character.
True.
Who?
Say so true.
True, but
I was like,
another pre-established character.
Yeah, it starts up the show of Echo, which makes sense. But yeah,
origin story.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see.
We have Loki, WandaVision, and Cap.
All right, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is 3rd place.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I do like that movie or that show does push the story forward.
It does, yeah.
It does push the story forward.
It does that in a major way.
Yeah.
In a very major way, exactly. That's why I'm saying. That's why I give it so much props. But there's that, and then for me personally, it's gonna sound really like cliche, but yeah, it's Loki. Then WandaVision was number 1.
I had a feeling with you it was either gonna be Loki or WandaVision.
Those are the 2 that were very major to pushing the story forward.
Mm-hmm.
So Loki.
What?
Also, where we got Gator Loki.
Gator,
Oh yeah, of course.
featuring
But,
Gator
but
Loki.
Loki is huge because it sets up the main villain of this entire arc.
Of the entire Phase 4.
Yeah. Oh, well, not Phase 4. Probably could more. I mean, Thanos was the main villain of Phase 1, 2, and 3.
And that's it. The main villain is it going to be Kang the Conqueror?
It is Kang. It is Kang the Conqueror.
And they got rid of the good one, so fuck.
Yeah, they got rid of He Who Remains.
They got rid of like the actual good Kang, and now we got left with the asshole Kang.
Yeah, He Who Remains was the variant that was able to seal Kang away, and then they killed him, making it possible for multiverses to exist. And because of that, Kang can now just jump through whatever he wants.
Yikes.
In short, ladies and gentlemen, female Loki did the oopsie.
Yep. But
What?
excuse me. But Kang the Conqueror is set to appear in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
That's gonna be interesting to see a tie-in like that.
Him or one of his variants.
Or him or one of the variants. Yeah, you're right. But he is going to be in that movie.
It's interesting
That's
because
how are we going to get to the actual Kang the Conqueror?
right?
I really don't know. But should also, you know about this, right? They flipped the release dates.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Ant-Man goes first now.
Mm-hmm.
Also, are we gonna mention the Avatar trailer? Should we?
You mean
I haven't watched it yet. I really
water?
need to.
Well,
Water.
the problem is that, okay, so they're not
Water.
going to release the trailer into on the internet until next week.
Hmm?
The trailer is being shown with the showings for Doctor Strange.
Oh, that one. Okay, I did see that one.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Are you a big fan of Avatar?
I enjoyed the first one.
Okay.
I didn't get to fully finish that one, so
It looks I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of Avatar.
Yeah.
I can't
No,
really
not
tell
you,
you.
Justin. Not you, Justin.
what's going on? Oh, well,
You said I've never really finished. I was like, what?
yeah, I never really finished it. It was one of those things where it's like I was in the room when it was playing, and then we had to stop for some reason, and then I just never picked up the pieces.
I would recommend at least finishing watching the whole thing.
Yeah,
It's fine.
yeah. For now, like
It's a good movie.
It's one
It
of the
was
things.
a good movie that people overhyped back in 12?
Like
something
I
like
would
that.
say this. It's definitely not a bad movie.
No.
No,
It is a good movie.
Man betrays human race for some blue. Never mind. Never mind.
so you're trying to line those pieces up?
Yours
Hey,
and mine?
to be fair, they were pretty whack though.
Huh?
Yikes.
They were
Huh?
pretty whack though. Let's be real.
But I think the trailer, the movie looks kind of pretty. I mean, I hope that's the kind
Like
of.
I want you
point.
to look at me in all conscious and tell me that their actions were justified. Exactly.
I'm gonna lock that away real quick. Absolutely
Exactly.
lock that away real quick. I know there was dead silence, but for people who are actually watching this, I just
He locked
away
his
the
mouth,
key.
threw away
Yep.
the key.
Zip his mouth, detach that.
I will say that it looks alright. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited about the game that Ubisoft's making. It looks really cool.
How
Wait,
could
what?
you be excited for something that wasn't even gameplay?
I can be excited for the in-engine footage.
Sorry.
I totally forgot about that.
Don't
Thank you
wanna,
for reminding me.
don't want to rain on your parade. I apologize.
I could be excited for the in-engine footage.
That was in engine. This is
Yeah.
Ubisoft.
Shut up.
So is Beyond Good and Evil 2, but you don't see that game coming out.
So was Watch Dogs, the first one.
Oh no!
That's right.
Okay, you hurt yourself. I wasn't
You
gonna even
think
go
I
that
don't
far.
know this pain? You think I'm naive?
It's gonna come out and look like a PS3 game. Anyways,
Mm.
They've gotten better about it in recent years.
can't even make a straight face.
No, in recent
Anyways,
years they haven't lied.
anyways.
Back in those years, oh fuck yeah, they lied recently.
Without going into a super tangent, yeah, Moon Knight was definitely ending was kind of meh overall, but I do like the fight scene. Well, whatever was there. Scarlet Scarab was really cool. Interesting that they're gonna make her Scarlet Scarab, and I hope we get to see him play Moon Knight again.
Yeah, me too.
I definitely
really
think the demand for him will be there, and they'll be like, "All right, Oscar, you want a contract?"
But
Here's the season
there's
2.
that. There's that, and Doctor Strange was godlike. I don't care what you. If you don't like it, I understand. I personally really love it.
Is it
It's
what
up there
like, is it one of your favorites now?
for me as a big Evil Dead fan. Yes,
Alright.
that's a very biased answer though, because I can tell you its flaws. You know what I mean? Like I can sit here and actually tell you that it's not the best Marvel film, but it is one of my personal favorites.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also say that like I am a favorite of like the style of it, just generally speaking. And you could just attribute that to just Sam Raimi just doing this stuff.
Magic.
Yeah, you can totally tell.
No,
look,
not,
look at the
not
original.
like hold on. Mark, it's not the magic actually. Not at all. Just the style
Magic.
of
Oh
it.
Just look at the original Spider-Man trilogy, then watch this movie. It'll be the exact same thing. I swear to God.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. He directed the original trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The rainy suit.
I mean, fuck, Danny Elfman composed the music for those. It's literally, if Raimi's has been given a shot to make an actual MCU film, one that's actually going to be canon,
And it's good.
like it's perfect. It's great. I hope he comes back.
And next up in line we have Thor: Love and Thunder.
They
That's-
did play that trailer in theater. It was pretty cool.
It's probably gonna be like top tier for me, that one. But I will say that
Man, I have a lot of expectations for that movie, so I really hope it does live up to it.
Mhm.
I know it's going to, right? Because it's going to be really good. But the thing is, Thor Ragnarok is my favorite Marvel movie. So,
yeah, I know.
so the problem is,
It's a great movie.
I have very high expectations for Thor: Love and Thunder. It is Taika Waititi doing the movie, so I'm all right. That's good enough.
All right, yeah.
But Phil, have you met Des and Troy? Together, they destroy.
I hate that.
But yeah, the Thor's next. Actually, what goes first? Thor or episode 1 of Miss Marvel?
I think it should be Thor.
I think Miss Marvel goes first. No,
I think wasn't Miss Marvel like June?
I thought She-Hulk was next.
they're both in June.
Oh, what? Oh,
Well, I
damn.
could have swore that She-Hulk was next.
No, She-Hulk's not next. It's Miss Marvel. Hold on.
Yeah, I
For
could've sworn She-Hulk.
shows, it's Miss Marvel.
Okay. I'm really curious about that one. Like,
I have heard people saying that they have
cautious.
changed a couple things about Miss Marvel that they are not fans of.
I could kind of see that because I saw that trailer. And I was like, wait, this is not what I know this character as.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I don't know much about the character, so it'd be nice to get like a
Right,
cool origin story.
No, bro.
For
Sorry
now.
about it.
Oh,
no, it's
they're
fine.
both. Oh, I am corrected. Thor is in July,
Okay, good. That's what I was thinking.
so Miss Marvel is first
By a month.
by a month. But Miss Marvel goes first in June 10th, is what I saw.
Oh,
So
she'll probably be in
it's
the
an-
middle of her. She'll probably be
yeah,
at the middle
it'll
or
be
end
like-
of her show by the time it's over.
yeah, it'll be like towards the end of her show, but not exactly at the end like Moon Knight was. But-
and then we see her appear in a scene.
I do have like big hope, not big hope, but I do know that Miss Marvel is going to be an interesting show only because we kind of know the ending, right? She has to end up in the Marvels.
Yeah, the Marvels.
Yeah, that's going to be a movie that's shared between Captain Marvel and Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
They do share a namesake.
So whatever this show ends as is how they end up in that show or in that movie.
It's like
But yeah.
she's supposed to have powers like Luffy from One Piece, but if they change her powers right now, it'd be like, okay, this is a bit odd.
See, like I wasn't gonna really say it like that, but
It's
that's
not really like Luffy though, because isn't there 2 Marvel characters that do that?
Yeah.
her and Reed Richards.
Mm-hmm.
They both have rubbery powers.
Well, I think it's more Reed Richards with the rubbery powers, and like I would say, well, this is very limited knowledge, but Miss Marvel kind of has the Choji and his clan's like ability, which is to like enlarge like portions of their bodies.
Yeah,
Or all of it.
yeah, that's a good
Or
way-
all
that's a
of
good
it,
way to
actually.
describe it.
But it does
That's a
kind
good way
of
to put it.
it kind
I
of
will
looks
ask
the same though.
I will ask him.
But yes, great. Marvel's doing good. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Picasso. Anyways,
I like it a lot.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
it's good. That's why I'm wearing the getup. So
I see you. I see that strange.
it's a what if shirt, and then I have Spider-Man in the flowers.
Seriously, your Spider-Man Hawaiian shirt.
It's more of a Easter shirt. It's got very flat floral Eastern stuff.
If you were in Hawaii, I would honestly just think it's a Hawaiian shirt.
I hope
Yeah,
Peter's
probably,
doing
but-
okay.
Yeah, no, great. Doctor Strange is good. Go watch it.
Yeah, 100% actually. It just feels different because it's a Sam Raimi film. So I really liked it.
It
Yeah,
hit
it was
different.
Yeah, it does really do hit different.
Makes me want to watch Evil Dead again. But
In fact, he just might.
I mean, maybe
I might just marathon it.
I did that with Katrina. So
Oh wow, okay.
I did that with Katrina. She was watching a show on Netflix, and it was a old USA show called Burn Notice, right?
Burn
You know,
notice.
Burn Notice. If you've never watched it, and I walked up, watching it. Like I walked into the room with her watching episode 1, and I was like, "Is that fucking Bruce Campbell?" Because he's actually one of the main actors in that show. He's in every single episode. Yeah, so and I was like, "What the fuck? Bruce fucking Campbell's in this movie? That's great." And she was like, "I don't know, who the fuck is that?"
Who's that?
Yeah, you said what?
And I said, "What?" And I ran into this game room and I grabbed out my copy of Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Hey, grab the
and made her
divorce
watch it.
papers while you're at it.
Oh. No, I walked into the room, I pulled out my Blu-ray copy of Evil Dead 1 and 2,
Okay, all right.
and I made her watch it even though she hates horror movies.
Same though.
Well, and then the thing is,
Well.
Evil Dead 1 is a very traditional horror film. You know, and, like, it's not really what Evil Dead's known about, but it is a very big horror film. Evil Dead 2 is exactly what Evil Dead becomes. It's schlocky, really like cheesy comedy with
So
horror elements.
a serious start with a comedic continuation.
Yes. Pretty much. That's the movie where Ash gets the chainsaw arm. He has the one-liners. He said, he looks at the screen and says groovy.
Groovy.
Like, come on, dude. Come on. That's the most iconic line from that movie. He literally just looks after he puts the chainsaw on, he goes, groovy.
Not even a night would stoop to this level.
Yeah, like that's where he gets the sawed-off shotgun. Like his whole the actual Ash Williams that's famous and popular and iconic is from that movie.
Okay.
It's Evil Dead 2. So that one's kind of like my personal favorite. But then there's Army of Darkness, right? Army of Darkness is the third movie, and that movie is so fucking Sam Raimi, it hurts me. Like that movie is literally dark comedy.
Nice. Okay.
It's rated R for a reason. It's dark comedy, but that's the one where he gets sent back to the past. And so like he's in these medieval times, and this dude's just walking around with a chainsaw for an arm and like a mechanical gauntlet so he has a hand.
Nice.
Yeah, and then like the Deadite. So like a lot of the designs from Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness remind me of Army of Darkness, like with the creatures and shit.
Okay.
They literally act and move the same way. Yeah, it's great. It's super fun. And then there's also the TV series, Ash vs. Evil Dead, which is 3 seasons. Which is a like canon like ending to that story. Kinda. It leaves on a cliffhanger, but Starz canceled it. It's unfortunate.
I remember Stars.
Yeah. I it's very unfortunate because I would have loved to see what happens when Evil Dead goes to like post-apocalyptic. Yeah. But yeah. Enough about my Evil Dead obsession.
We could switch from one obsession to another. Got these 2 amiibos
Always.
this past weekend. Listen, I never thought I would come across an available like Kirby one, but here it is.
Oh, it's the Kirby line one too.
Yeah.
That one's cool.
And this is just Smash Bros. DD. But I was like, I don't really see this one a lot,
Yeah.
so nice.
That one's a little bit harder to get, the Smash DDD.
Yeah.
I have the 4. They're over here. I don't know if you can see them. You can see the little pink Kirby right there.
Oh, I do see a little bit of pink right there.
Yeah, that I have all 4 of them posed. I have the Waddle Dee, the Meta Knight, DDD, and Kirby.
Nice.
They're all sitting there. But yeah, and then you can't see them, but like up here on my shelf, I have all my Smash ones. I did get the
Yeah.
Min Min one. It was pretty good.
Nice. I did see that post.
But
Yeah, I was super happy to get that. Also picked up what was it, Plague Tale of Innocence, like right here. So
ooh,
just picked up after watching the movie. And I guess I'm just waiting for that pre-order for East 8 physical.
yes.
Oh,
Speaking
Pardon?
of going from one obsession to another, anyways.
Yes.
Yes, East is fantastic. I'm sorry, Mark, that you're on Xbox and can't play them.
Except for Origins.
Origins, yeah. Actually, Mark, Origins is on Xbox. Check if it's on Game Pass.
I think it's on Game Pass actually. I'll have to double
Let's
check
check
on
it
that.
out.
That is, I very wholeheartedly recommend that game. It's so good.
Beefling, how do you know that Mark is playing Halo? What?
Hey,
Oh yeah,
is that
I guess it does show up on Discord.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. East Origin is on Xbox. You can play that.
Nice.
That's a really good game. It's not my favorite East game, but it is a really good game. There is no real bad East game, so I'm just gonna say that right now.
And if anything, you probably play a good majority of them like on a minimal performance PC on Steam.
It's true. They're not graphically intensive. Well,
maybe except for the latter ones.
Yeah, I was gonna say 8 and 9 might be a little too taxing on a PC that can't handle it, but all the other ones are sprite based for the most part.
Yeah, it's got charm.
No, play East Origin. Get that shit on Xbox. It's good. Just know that you have to beat it 3 times.
Huh?
Oh boy.
It's not long. the game is like 8 hours long, I think.
It's like, huh?
It's not long. It's 3 different stories, but only one of them is canon. You don't get that unless you beat the other 2.
I see. Speaking of other obsessions, I did finish Tales of Vesperia last night, and I was able to conclude with that. I was like, roll credits. I was like, this is really nice. Jumping from like Symphonia, it was definitely a nice like jump. And now I'm moving on to Zestiria, so I'll be back. No. I'll be back to let you know how I feel about that.
Oh no, you're gonna hate yourself, dude.
I have a feeling.
How you went from 2 top tier Tales games to just
to dumpster diving.
Yeah, you're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Tales games. You know what? It is gonna happen eventually, whether you kept it to the end or not. So that's fine. I get it.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't do it, but yeah.
Fair enough.
I've only really like played a good amount, like a good couple hours into it, and I already knew I wasn't having fun.
I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, I want to go back to it so I can actually properly finish it, but yeah.
I saw the smoke beeping they're throwing over there.
But I also have Tales of Berseria and Tales of Arise sitting in my shelf, so I probably really should play those.
Yeah, I'll be eventually getting to those.
Yeah. And then I kind of want to pick up some of the older Tales games, but man, some of them are pricey, baby.
Yeah.
Some of them are pricey.
I just went with what was available easily.
Yeah. Actually, the PS3 ones are not that bad. They're only like, I think maximum one of them was only $50.
Yeah.
It's really not the worst.
Yeah, for some reason I don't really want to make the move to like look into a PlayStation 3 at this point.
It's just only because PS3 is so expensive, dude.
Like I think
they'd be easier to find than a PS5.
No, I mean getting a console is not hard. I meant collecting for a PS3 is hard.
Collecting, that's a different story.
No, buying games for the PS3 is a whole different story.
Because they're shutting the store down.
The store isn't shut down, but they already took away credit card access. So the only way you can
What a bitch.
Yeah, so the only way you can add money is if you go onto your PS4 or PS5 and go into your wallet and add money digitally and make sure your account's the same, and then you can go back to PS3. Yeah. Actually, I can bring that up as a topic in a little bit.
Sure.
But
all right.
That's gonna be later.
Okay, I'm not too mad about that.
Yeah, like
that's a different console system, different family of consoles, but I'll bring it up later.
I was gonna say, if PlayStation goes forward with like adding more stuff to their PlayStation 3 library, if we're talking about like, the subscriptions in the future, they add the Tales series games, then I would definitely jump on that. But we don't know anything about that yet.
But and the big but here is PS3 streaming only.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. So unless they change that,
if your internet can handle it, sure. But I already told you my opinion. I'm not a fan of that. So
yeah, listen, I think that really works with turn-based stuff, like almost Solamente.
Sure, and that's what I was saying. Like, but Tales is not turn-based.
Yeah, it's action.
Not anymore.
It's action. Tales has never been turn-based.
It never was.
Yeah, the Tales of series is notable for being a game where it goes into a random battle and then it becomes action.
Yeah.
It's one of its first to do that.
Yeah. I can see why a lot of people like clinged onto it. It's such a
It's a very good
yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Very good series. It kind of, I wish it had more respect. Like even Tales of Arise came out and not a lot of people picked it up.
Damn.
Really, I thought Tales of Arise was a huge success.
It's a
I
huge
think so,
success
yeah.
of the whole series.
I mean, it got me into Tales.
Yeah.
It's great. And you have an Xbox too, so you can at least play Vesperia, no?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can.
Great.
It's off Game Pass though, so I mean, you have to go buy. You
can buy that game for like $10, $12 on the internet. Don't even trip. Like that game is so cheap. It's dirt cheap. I want to get Vesperia Definitive Edition, but I think I'm just gonna get it on Switch.
Oh yeah.
One reason.
One reason.
One single reason. It's the only Tales of game on Switch. So I kind of just wanted Tales of game on the go.
Okay.
Because like obviously I have Zestiria and Bissaria on my PS4 because that's where they're at.
Tales to go.
Yeah, and so I thought to myself, well, with the way I collect, I kind of just go and say, hey, well, they're all in there, so I just get them all in there.
Yeah, but
so I do plan on getting Vesperia on PS4.
Oh, okay. I was about to say like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really picky. I just kind of like go wherever it's easily accessible. If I can lean towards Xbox, then I would.
Yeah, I feel it. But that's probably why you like Scarlet Nexus so much, because it has some of the team members from the Tales of series.
Yeah, it's nice. The action there is really nice.
But yeah, Tales of is great. My personal favorite is Symphonia, so
it's really good. I like
honestly,
that
one. It'd be cool to see them give that the 7 remake treatment.
Man, would it ever? I don't know if it gets the 7 remake treatment,
that's
but
a little...
definitely port the what's it called, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles.
Oh, what was it? Wii U?
Definitely port the collection to modern consoles. Like it's the one that
out of all the Square Enix games, I would say deserve that. It would either be Symphonia or Chrono Trigger.
Square Enix.
We'll pause on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pause you on that and fact check you, bro. That's a Namco game.
Yeah, that's
you're right. My bad. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's why I get blindsided every single time I like boot up the Tales game.
Yeah, and I was like,
Bandai Namco.
My bad.
You said, "Oh no, anime."
But I will say, they can at least get an updated like Tales of Arise feel.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy if they even upscale it to that, because like 7 remakes like development is just,
yeah,
like, can't imagine.
But then you have Klonoa, so
a lot of people would like to see Chrono Trigger get that treatment that remake got.
Yeah,
man, I want Chrono Trigger to get the Live a Live treatment.
Oh
I wanted to.
Oh my god!
I want Chrono Trigger to be one of those HD 2D remakes so bad, so fucking bad.
That sounds. And they remade the score too.
Exactly. Orchestrate the score. Oh my god.
Well, they could go the Dragon Quest route and just do 2D and 3D at the same time, just to switch to flip it.
2D and 3D? Oh, like
you're talking about 11.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They can do that.
Well, they're gonna do Dragon Quest 3 HD remake.
Yeah.
That's confirmed.
Yeah,
whenever
they do
actually comes, but it's gonna be in the same engine as Octopath Traveler, so
that's gonna be really cool to see.
They could just do that for Chrono Trigger, just kind of a similar thing.
That's what I said.
3D and 2D.
That's what I mean by HD 2D. That's what it's called.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's what the engine's called that they use, the HD 2D engine. So far, only 4 games have it. It's Octopath, Triangle Strategy, the Live a Live remake, and the Dragon Quest 3 remake.
Yeah.
Which here's my theory. They haven't announced when they're going to release it because it's not just 3. I think it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Which makes sense. That's the Erdrick trilogy. And it's
the first hero.
Huh?
Yeah, it's the first hero of Dragon Quest, right?
Yeah, it's the NES games. They're the NES games, but they're very important because they're the only Dragon Quests that are actually connected story-wise.
Oh,
damn.
Okay.
So 1 and 2, 2 is a sequel to 1, 3 is a prequel to 1. And then I don't know if this is spoilers because I think at this point everyone knows, or whoever's played it knows, but 11 is a prequel to the trilogy.
Really?
Wow.
Yes. The way 11 ends actually sets up Dragon Quest 1.
Not the Street Fighter level of chronological game releases.
Yeah, like you find out that you're actually a descendant of Erdrick.
Well, damn.
Oh,
Yeah, so technically you are the next hero in line after 3.
gotcha.
Yeah, a lot of people. That's why it's actually in the name. They actually tease it. Echoes of an elusive age.
Oh, ooh, now it makes sense.
And you wondered who your relatives were.
Exactly. So it's a really interesting way. It's because 11 was created as like a way to like celebrate the series.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But yeah, I want to see those in HD 2D so bad, dude. I would love to see 1. I actually have not really sat down and played through 2, but 1 and 3, holy shit, dude. 3 in particular, oh buddy. Talk about an RPG. That's a dank RPG.
All right, all right.
That's a dank RPG, dude. The music, ooh. But yeah. I want Chrono Trigger for that treatment. That's, in my opinion, that's probably why they haven't released it yet, and they did Chrono Cross instead.
Mm.
Because the team who does those HD 2D games, Team Asano,
E.
they said they have 6 projects to reveal this year.
Jeez, dude.
Live
This year?
Live is only one.
Only one of them? So I think, yeah, it might be a safe bet to say like maybe Chrono Trigger is like the big thing.
Yep. They did in an interview that they did say in an interview. I think we talked about this on the last podcast, honestly. That we were talking about Octopath, and so I said that
Oh, yeah.
they were given a list by Square Enix executives, and they said, "Hey,
Do this."
these games are what we want." And then so they chose from the list, but they ended on Live a Live because they felt like that game should be remade because it was never released in the West. So they wanted to make
Yeah,
sure
I do
that
remember that, yeah.
everybody gets to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
Because Live a Live is considered one of the best RPGs of the Super Famicom, but we never got it.
Which is sad and also kind of weird why we wouldn't if it's so regarded over there.
I know, and it's also Yoko Shimomura's first musical composition for Square Enix. So this is before she started doing the music to Kingdom Hearts. So I want to hear that shit orchestrated.
Damn.
Ooh! Anyways.
All right, I kind of wanted to cut over to this little segment because it's been kind of taking the internet in different ways. Sonic Prime, actually.
Oh my god. Are you doing this?
We're gonna talk about that little like 10 to 19 like second little preview that Netflix showed off, right?
Mark, do you have any opinions on that?
Nah, not really.
Really? Okay.
All right, thank you, Mark.
Damn.
Thank you, Mark. That was very wise words. I understand.
You're welcome.
Listen, the thing is that people are just talking about like the visuals that they see immediately. I don't really care about the visuals.
I kind of care, but to an extent.
To an extent, right? Because like I think Sonic Boom was like pretty safe on just like the visual like aesthetic of everything. And I loved what I have seen of that show already just because the writing was there. So for this one, it was just kind of like I'm just kind of keeping an open mind about that. The first thing we did see, or sorry, hear actually, was the voice actor for Sonic, which for the first time I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, same voice actor, perfect.
No,
it's not.
He sounds really good as Sonic, by the way.
Yeah.
Like if Roger Craig Smith were to retire, I would want him to be the next voice of Sonic for the games.
Probably, yeah. So the guy's name's David Mack. He has a YouTube channel where he actually kind of talks a little bit more about that. This is where you can get more of a gist of like where you could like find like the particular like pitch in his voice, versus like what you saw in the trailer, because the trailer kind of has it same specific lines that really sound like Roger Craig Smith, but busting out the pop figure, yes.
He's just chills on my desk.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Also confirmed the that animation of running is back. I don't know how to call it. I don't know.
Yeah, the circle, the figure 8.
Yeah, yes.
The figure 8 when he's running, it's so cute. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. That I wanted to see that so bad. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, I just want to actually see a real episode and then we can judge it. But
right. So for now, all we got is that. And unfortunately, it did. I'm just gonna like briefly like sprinkle on this, they did just it did show the ugly side of the community quite a bit. Because it's one of those things where it's like it's one of those things where you can't really win about it because it's like, okay, no, we don't like Roger Craig Smith, bring back the other one. No, we don't like Devin Mac, bring back Roger Craig Smith. I'm like, please,
bruh, come on. This is gonna be the same this is the same thing what happened with the Sonic 1 movie. When they were like, what do you mean it's not Roger Craig Smith voicing Sonic? I'm like, bro, Ben Schwartz is an actual like movie actor. It's fine. And he does a fantastic job in the movie, so it's fine. Sonic can have multiple voice actors, guys. It doesn't have to be one.
Right.
Just saying.
Also, be aware, everybody, that leaks of Sonic 2 did like come out into the internet, so people are just posting that kind of stuff. You don't really have to like fall into that like rabbit hole of just watching every single one, but you know, it's there.
Yeah. Yeah, it did happen. I was seeing those the other day. I was like, damn, all right. Like that's crazy. How did people get clean images of that movie?
It's a little too clean.
It's a little too clean. Looks like they kind of stole it, if you know what I mean. But no, I think his voice is fine. I really like that voice. He sounded just like Sonic. I was like, damn. But the hardcore fan will probably hate that statement, so I don't know. Sue me, I'm a Mario fan.
If you can't floss, you'll be lost without me.
Sorry for the very bad shade there, but sue me anyway.
You're ready to say, damn, you're trying to start a war? Yep.
Whatever.
Just
whatever. I'm playing Sonic on Nintendo next anyway, so I'm gonna fuck. If Nico Arc was to hear me right now, he'd be on my ass real quick.
But
he's my eternal Sega rival. It's fine.
Eternal Sega rival.
This is how we met. We met at working at the same place back in the day.
Okay.
Real quick, we met working back in the day, and he's a big Sonic fan, and I'm a big Mario fan. And so I told him to kick rocks, kid, because Sonic sucks.
And what were your guys' impressions when Olympics Mario Sonic Olympics games came out?
He was just kind of like, I mean, I fucking guess, like
I guess.
But like this is a thing we have. It's a running joke. Like I always just think Nintendo games are better overall, and he always thinks Sega games are better overall. And so he'll literally like one joke was like he said that Columns was better than Tetris, and I was like, I can't stand you right now. I literally can't stand you. And I was like, whatever, dog. I got Dr. Mario, so fuck you. And then he said, "But I have Puyo Puyo, or sorry, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine." And I was like, touche. That's a pretty good game.
That's fair. That's fair. We'll call it evens for today.
Yeah, the only one I will always give them. I can't even deny it. Streets of Rage is better than Final Fight. Don't at me.
All right.
Yeah. Can't even deny that. I got to take an L somewhere, boys. Can't just.
It's understandable.
It can't be all W's.
It can't be all W's, but I'll take the 1L compared to the 90 W's I win.
Oh my god.
I'm sure it hurt a lot of Sega fanboys when you popped in Sonic Adventure DX for the first time, or Sonic Adventure 2 for the first time on your GameCube. And it said Nintendo.
This man's just shooting shots everywhere. Phil, calm down.
Hey, hold on. No. Let's be actually real. I actually do like Sega games, so
Sonic Adventure 2 was my first GameCube game.
Staring at you through the camera. Like no, I actually do appreciate Sega games, especially more as an adult. I like a lot of Sega games now. So but yeah, it's just a running joke at this point.
Yeah. I did want to actually
also fuck the blue blur.
Huh? I can't do this. Oh, but yeah. What was it? I did want to bring this up because you guys are probably in the midst of that. Halo's
new season.
Ooh, yeah, new season.
Okay.
How y'all feeling about that?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. And so anyway.
Well, okay, Mark, what do you like about it? Let's see if I agree with some of it.
I liked the introduction to the new narrative. I thought the new narrative was interesting.
Okay, so let me stop you there. I actually was not expecting there to be narrative. I thought it was just to see like because obviously they couldn't do narrative with Heroes of Reach because that's Reach. You know
Yeah,
what
of
I
course,
mean?
it's a narrative that's already been told.
Yeah. So I didn't think that we were gonna get actual story progression through the seasons. That's kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Not gonna lie. Continue. Go ahead.
I mean that's the main thing. The new armor is pretty cool too.
Okay.
The armor's like something straight out of Fallout.
Okay.
That's cool seeing that mixed with Halo. And I mean, of course, like we had a couple new modes, a couple new maps. Like, but my biggest thing was mostly the lore.
That's fair.
Yeah. There's not much cutscenes, but it is really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing is, I'm gonna take this at face value because I'm gonna talk about it as an actual update to the game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very whatever. I think here's the thing. I like the armor. I like the battle pass, the items in it.
Mm.
I obviously went and scoped it out before I bought it, and I was like, "Yo, they're actually giving you currency now in the battle pass."
Nice. That's always a good thing.
That's actually really cool. So, like, if you finish all 100 of them, you can get $10 back and just use it on the next battle pass, and so you
Ooh.
never have to pay again.
All right.
So, pretty cool. I like that. Because that's what Call of Duty did, and that's what I used with Call of Duty. I ended up getting enough money to just get the next battle pass for free.
Mm.
So that's what I'm gonna do. That's great. I do like a lot of the armor pieces. I love some of the crazy, like, yeah, you said Fallout, and that's pretty accurate. One of them looks like a Nazi though.
Just a
It's
little
got
bit.
got the Nazi helmet.
Just a little bit.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It looks like the ones from like Wolfenstein.
Yeah, that's what I thought the same thing
Which-
too. I was like, where have I seen this before?
Yeah, so that's pretty cool, but not cool, but also kind of like interesting style at the same time.
Just interesting seeing them mixed together.
Yeah. I don't like the mode. I'm gonna be the
Spartan
guy that says,
standing.
yeah, last Spartan standing. It tries to mix in so many different things,
It's not bad.
but doesn't land any of them.
Like it's got its own appeal, in my opinion.
I guess. But you have to be a fan of those specific modes that I'm even referring to. Like it's gun game and battle royale.
Pretty
at
much
the same time.
It's the two mixed together.
Yeah. I will say this. I'm upset that there's only 2 maps,
Yeah, I understand that.
but the 2 maps are really, really fucking good.
They are very good.
They are very good maps. Lots of really cool areas to fight in. Lots of verticality. Really good shit on the map design.
You're upset about the quantity, not the quality.
Yes, the quality of the maps, fantastic. The big team battle map is my favorite one so far. I can add the new arena map to some of my like favorite ones. Like I love the Guardians from Halo 3 inspired map.
Oh yeah, very much so.
It's so on the nose about being Guardian. That was my favorite map. That's my favorite Halo map, period.
I was like, hold up, is this a legacy map?
Yeah, because the Guardian is my favorite Halo map in the entire series. I really love that map.
It brought up so many memories. I was like, wait a minute.
And yeah, I played tactical on it. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Very good map. Yeah, the whole gun game part is done so weirdly. Like they gave me the Mangler level 2, and I'm like, bro, the Mangler's OP. Why would you do that? But then they take it away from you after level 4.
Yep.
Why? Why would I even want to upgrade?
Why'd I hop into this anyway?
It's OP if you can hit your shots.
Exactly.
It's if.
I was getting upset.
Some people are terrible shots.
I've heard they fixed this next issue, right? But I was getting upset that my progress wasn't going forward.
Oh.
When I was playing Last Man Standing, I would die, right? And then I would exit the match and nothing saved. And I'm like, the game literally says that even if you die, everything, like, your current progress goes through. So what the hell happened? And then I was on stream. If anybody was actually watching that stream, you could see me actually do this. I waited till the actual match was over. I spectated the entire time. And once I hit the result screen, everything went through at once.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if that was a glitch on their part, but I'm hearing that they fixed it.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, like, is that
because
the
I felt like I
patch?
wasn't doing, yeah, because it kind of sucked because I'm sitting there and I'm like, wow, I'm not making any progress on my missions, nothing. It just blank.
That's a good thing they fixed it.
Yeah, it's a good thing they fixed it. I was gonna try it out a little bit just to kind of play it for like an hour and then because I got something to do tonight. But still, the point is, yes, I'm not really a big fan. I need to see more. I need to see more if they're gonna continue doing seasonal things. I need to see more than just 2 maps, dude. That's my problem.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I think season 3 is going to deliver more.
Man, that's what 6 months.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong.
That's the problem.
I know it's a big ask, but I just think they're saving something.
I really hope this game does not die out right now. I really hope.
I don't want it to. I really don't want it to.
I really don't. I'm not wishing it bad, Hill. I'm just saying, damn, dude, you're not making good decisions.
Fair. That's fair to say.
But everybody see Clippy?
Hey.
Pardon?
Everybody see Clippy? Clippy is in
Clippy.
Halo now, but he's a keychain. He's a chain to your gun. He's not available yet. He will be available later. You know who I'm talking about, right? Clippy from like Microsoft
crossover.
Oh no way! Not
the
that
little
Clippy.
fucking-
I was gonna say not that
Clippy.
Clippy.
Clippy's in the game, dude. He's in the fucking game. He's in the menus. If you go on and you can check your like items that have coming soon, he's there.
He's there. He's waiting.
Also, interesting. If you go to the where you can buy the esports, like you go into the shop and there's the esports section, right? They actually changed all of it for season 2. You can now buy your favorite esport teams skins and colors for their guns and your vehicles now.
Okay, all right.
Instead of it being the armor.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like the armor. I'm really excited to try and get new colors for it. Yeah, that's my idea. That's my opinion. I just think it's very meh, and it should have been more after 6 months of waiting on the same fucking maps. And one map doesn't cut it, in my opinion, but the map is good. I can't deny that.
I guess it could be one of those things where they're like, I wouldn't say testing the waters because Halo is just like a big franchise, so of course you want to kind of like put everything into that one. But maybe just to see the reception, and then just take that feedback and apply it to the next update.
I hope they at least add maps throughout the season. I know Call of Duty does that. Like they'll launch with only one map, but they at least tell you, hey, throughout the season there's going to be a couple more.
Sorry, you mentioned new maps, and I kind of thought about Activision.
Well, I did say Call of Duty, so
I was thinking like, hey, can y'all make some new maps for us? And that's all you gotta do. Okay, thanks.
Oh no. But yeah, I think this is a good segue. This is a good segue about talking about Halo, though. Because I wanted to bring up the Microsoft and Bethesda showcase.
Ooh, are we gonna talk about it like right now? I guess that is in June, so it's like next month. So
it is next, dude. It's only a couple weeks away.
Oh my god, dude, the days are going by real fast.
Let me start with this. Let's start with excuse me.
Okay.
Let me start with this. Summer Games Fest starts June 9th.
June 9th, right?
The Thursday before the conference. That's important because in my opinion, that's when our summer reveals. I'm gonna call it that since E3 doesn't exist.
This year, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big summer reveals. That's when it starts. It's gonna be on that Thursday, and then it's gonna go into the week after. So I'm assuming Nintendo's gonna go after Microsoft like they always do. It's gonna be sometime that week, and then Limited Run Games is gonna go that weekend as well somewhere. So something like that. But let's talk about Xbox, right?
All right.
The big rumor, the big absolute rumor that's going around.
Scalebound's come back.
Stop it. But
I mean, no, they were talking about that.
But the big rumor is that almost every single studio that Xbox owns has something to show at that showcase.
Oh shit!
No.
Viva Pinata 3. Oh my god!
Don't you dare tease.
Let's get baby. No, I hope so. Viva Pinata is great.
It is really good.
No,
I never played Trouble in Paradise. I can though on Game Pass. So great.
It is. It's on Rare Replay, yeah.
That too.
But I want to bring up one specific rumor of the studios.
Oh, okay.
The one that interests me the most, obviously, because it's my favorite developer that they own.
Oh,
it's not Rare. I do love Rare.
I was thinking Rare.
I was thinking Rare too, but they have Everwild, so I already knew they were going to show Everwild.
It's been a while since we heard about that one.
My other favorite studio that they now own is a little. Well, it's in Bethesda, but it's a little studio you may not know of. They're very small. id Software.
Oh, them.
It's pretty small. I don't think I know about it.
Yeah, very small. They don't make any game. Wolfenstein, Doom, whatever.
Mm.
But there's rumors that saying they're going to show a third Doom game.
Oh, excuse me.
Already?
Uh-oh.
Already?
Can we really say already? Because wait, Doom Eternal was
like it's been a while.
It's been 2020. 2020 was Doom Eternal.
Oh, okay.
But that was like, I mean, there's 2016 to 2020. That was 4 years.
That's fair. I mean, I'll give you that. But also at the same time, with Doom 2016, they were trying to extend it with multiplayer, and that didn't work.
True.
With this game, it was very strictly single player with a little bit of multiplayer.
So Doom
still didn't work.
So yeah, so Doom 3 is going to be kind of
something. Like it's a new Doom game. Is all that's the rumor.
Okay.
Is that's what's being cooked up at id Software, which is very bittersweet because I do want them to do something with Quake. I want them to actually do a brand new Quake. But that's not going to happen. I would say Wolfenstein, but that reign for Wolfenstein has been past the Machine Games.
Mm-hmm.
And Machine Games better not show me anything unless it's that Indiana Jones game.
Really curious about that one.
I am very curious to see what that is. But that's my two biggest ones. I want to see whatever Doom, if there is Doom that's going to show up, and I want to see Indiana Jones so bad. I want to see that game, dude. I want to see Machine Games take their shift genres from a first-person shooter to this adventure game. I really, really want to see that.
Be interesting to see.
If it's just Uncharted, but with Indiana Jones, you got me.
Yeah.
That's all I'm expecting it to be.
He said sold. I think your entire stock.
Well, think about it. Indiana Jones is the original Uncharted. It is the inspiration for Tomb Raider and Uncharted.
Yeah.
True.
Imagine Uncharted actually just being Indiana Jones. It would be so perfect.
Write that down.
Yeah. It's so perfect. I just hope they get all they have to do is nail the feel of it. That's all they have to do. And for some reason, for LucasArts and Disney, it's been so hard. And especially in some video games, it's so hard to nail the feel of Indiana Jones compared to Star Wars. So hard. I don't know what it is with people that can't do it, but they can't. The only other Indiana Jones game that actually feels like a real Indiana Jones game is the original Xbox game, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, which is on Series X. It's backwards compatible. Please play it.
Product placement.
Very product placement. That game's great. They gave it away for free, one of the games of gold. And I thought it was going to be mediocre. And so when I started playing it, I was like, whoa, hold on, this is good.
Oh, pause.
He said, never mind.
Yeah. But that game is really good. I want them to get that feel. I want to see the whip. I want to see him actually jump around and be lucky on everything.
they saw Elden Ring. They're like, oh, actually, you know what?
I want the music to fucking hit me in the face. I need John Williams' score to hit me in the face. It has to be perfect, or else for me personally, it's gonna be like a whatever game. But I'll still pick it up. I'll still pick it up.
All right.
Yeah. I'm again unapologetic fan of Indiana Jones, so I'll pick it up. But yeah, those are the big ones I want to see. Also, Redfall.
That's true. We do just need some stuff on Redfall.
I do need to see.
I do want to see Redfall. I want to see what they're doing with Redfall. But let's be honest. What's the biggest game at the showcase? Mark, I'm sure you know. What's going to be the biggest game there, and you already know what's going to be.
Scalebound.
Stop it.
I would assume you might be talking about Perfect Dark.
No.
I'm trying to think. Oh, Star Citizen.
Starfield.
Yeah, Starfield.
Starfield's going to be Dude, it's already teased in the reveal for Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. It's all just nothing but space in the background.
It's true.
Yeah, my brain short circuited.
Yeah, it's gonna be the biggest game there. Like, let's be honest. Their Xbox is gonna push that game like it's no tomorrow.
I hope so, right?
Oh, I do wanted to mention there was part of the Doom rumor.
Hmm.
The reason I'm bringing that up is because it's set to be an Xbox and PC exclusive.
Oh. Wait,
It's
are we
not coming to any other console.
talking about Doom?
PlayStation felt that.
Doom. It's not coming to any other
Ugh.
console. So that's why I'm curious. I'm like, oh, okay, now we're actually using your studios.
Yeah, you're using the contract.
PlayStation felt that one for sure.
Exactly. That's why I was like, damn, that sucks. Because I actually have all the Dooms on PlayStation, but I also recently bought them all on Xbox. So I'm a Doom fanatic. I'll buy every single version for no reason. But
I'll take your entire stock.
Yep. So, but yeah, it's pretty crazy to think that we're gonna live in an era where we're gonna start seeing big popular franchises be exclusive to Doom, or exclusive to Xbox and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something like Doom and Quake and Wolfenstein. Like, that's kind of crazy to me.
They have been working towards that, yeah.
Those are big IPs, especially for Xbox to be owning.
Yeah.
But Perfect Dark is a good segue too, right? Do you want to talk about Crystal Dynamics being sold?
Oh,
I heard about that.
Oh yeah. That's well, actually I have not too much experience except for what was the latest thing that they worked on? It was
Crystal Dynamics worked on Marvel's Avengers.
All right, maybe I shouldn't have asked.
Right.
So let me bring people up to speed.
Okay, here we go. Here it is.
The actual. So what happened is that Square Enix, back in the day, there was a company called IDOS. All right.
Yeah.
IDOS existed. They made their own games. You know, they published stuff. They
Mhm.
were the owners of Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Right. Back in the day, back on PS1, whenever they created that series.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was Crystal Dynamics. Crystal Dynamics was its own company, its own publisher, and everything. They're responsible for games like Gex. They're responsible for publishing games like The Legacy of Kain.
Mm-hmm.
Big, very big IPs back in the day. And I think there's one more, I can't remember it. But IDOS also owned like Tomb Raider. They also owned Deus Ex. They owned a bunch of really big IPs. Well, Square Enix bought them outright.
Oy.
And so for a long time, those franchises were under Square Enix's wings. If you were to buy a modern Tomb Raider game right now, it would actually have Square Enix's name on the box.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Follow me through. Those are considered Western Square Enix developers.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Well, Square Enix struck a deal with Disney and Marvel
Uh-oh.
to produce Marvel games. Okay?
Okay.
The first one being Marvel's Avengers, which was being developed by Crystal Dynamics
Right.
of Tomb Raider fame. Right? Okay. That game did not sell well.
Uh-huh.
That game costed them $60 million.
Okay.
And it couldn't even make like a quarter of it. They sold them. They sold all of their Western developers to a group called Embracer Group, which owns.
If I look at
yeah, they sold all of them for a measly like 300 million. That's nothing. They Embracer Group paid nothing for those companies. Like, Square Enix was looking to get rid of those companies like at all costs. They said whatever bid comes in, fuck it, we'll take it. So they got rid of the following three: Crystal Dynamics, IDOS Montreal, and Square Enix Montreal. They got rid of all three of those studios. Sold them to Embracer Group, which owns Saber Interactive. They also own THQ.
Oh, do they?
They own Koch Media, I think. No, I think that one's wrong. But they own Deep Silver.
Oh.
So like the publishers of like Metro
and
stuff like that. Yeah, and then they also own Gearbox.
Whoa.
So they just added 3 really talented studios to their lineup for nothing. And Square Enix's reasoning is because they are going to invest the money in blockchain and NFTs. Great,
Oh.
great.
Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I can't wait to buy an NFT of a Keyblade.
Hey, but that Tifa one. Come on.
Shut the fuck up.
Look, no,
we're not talking about that.
I have signature. It says I own it now.
But why? Hey, don't you dare right click. Don't you dare right click. But yeah, no, they sold that. They sold all three of those developers, and alongside it, they sold the rights to Tomb Raider, The Legacy of Kain, anything that Crystal Dynamics owns, they sold it. Anything that Eidos owns, they sold it. The only exceptions, apparently, from what I'm reading, they kept Life is Strange,
All right.
Just Cause,
Oh, okay.
and they kept one more, and I don't remember what it is. But they kept the ones that actually make them money, essentially.
Hmm.
They kept the ones that people are gonna know, and they're like, all right, we'll use these. But Deus Ex is not in their hands anymore, which means people are excited to see, and myself included, if we can get a new Deus Ex or a new Legacy of Kain game, please Embracer Group, please, I need those in my life. Also, I want to know what's gonna happen with the next Tomb Raider, because they did announce that the next Tomb Raider would be using Unreal Engine 5. So there's a lot of questions, but they did sell them off. The reason I'm bringing this up is because there's another crazy allegation
Uh-oh.
that Sony is looking to buy Square Enix.
Oh, you mean that allegation? Okay. Okay. All right.
Nothing weird. Nothing weird.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't need to hear another one of those.
No. They're looking to buy Square Enix Japan. So Square Enix wanted to get rid of the Western companies real quick. And I honestly am not okay with people buying out companies outright, period. I don't want this entertainment to be monopolized.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I love RPGs and I want them on every console possible.
Right.
Like, I don't want to segregate Mark, who's already waiting for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That's pain.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to segregate people who have been waiting for like Final Fantasy stuff on Switch or like Kingdom Hearts. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to segregate that kind of group. But that's pretty much what it's looking like.
That's rough.
I don't know what that's going to do for the future. I don't want that to happen to every company in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Certain companies, I understand. You know what I mean? Like, shit happens.
Yeah.
Like Bethesda make total sense to go to Xbox. They already were big with Xbox history.
Mm-hmm.
And then Activision Blizzard, well, I mean, that's a whole different thing. Somebody had to take care of that.
Well, yeah.
So I don't think Square Enix should be the one being sold off. And I'm not saying that because I'm a fan of their business. I'm a fan of their games. Except you, Marvel's Avengers.
I was gonna ask, and I've been trying to look through like Game Pass and everything like that. Who was in charge of developing Guardians of the Galaxy?
Eidos Montreal. They sold them.
Oh Jesus. I mean, like,
but the problem is that game also led to them being like, well, we don't need these companies, because I get it. We're all scarred from Marvel's Avengers, and they didn't really do a good job of showcasing Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, that's fair, actually.
I get that. The problem is Guardians only was selling through word of mouth.
Mm.
And it's unfortunate because that game is really, really good. It is top tier.
It actually is really good.
And that game did not sell either. It did not meet Square Enix's expectations. So that's also a game that led to its eventual downfall.
Mm.
It's unfortunate. It really is. But I wonder if they have the Marvel license, what other games would they be working on? Because that's all gone now. The Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal can't touch those.
Mm.
Once this goes through, mind you, in September.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the deal goes through in September. So it's an interesting thing, I really just woke up to it one day and I was like, what the fuck? That's so crazy. That's so crazy to me. But I hope that Embracer Group does good in like preserving some of those legacy games. Like I would love a collection of Legacy of Kain games so that people can play those. Because man, if you have never played the Soul Reaver games, man, Soul Reaver 1 and 2 are godlike games. Godlike. And then the original Legacy of Kain Blood Omen. Oof. Ooh, it's a good PS1 game. So I don't know. I just that was a big talking point.
Yeah, no, I get that. Makes me really curious about it. I was honestly like, as far as the Xbox and Bethesda stuff, or just really Xbox in general, I only heard recently about just the push for like, and it's just because like the fact that it was announced that Fortnite of all games would be accessible through like cloud game, and the idea that that's pushing towards Xbox working on, because they talked about this like last year or something like that, that they'd be working more towards like integrating like Xbox streaming to other platforms or just other like
Through an app,
appliances.
right?
Yeah, through an app.
Yeah.
So for example, like Samsung, for those types of like smart TVs, they would integrate like the app in there. Otherwise, you would have like a separate like maybe like a dongle, like a puck, if you will, that just is plugged into your smart TV, and that works like that.
That would, I feel like it'd just be more of a downloadable app onto your smart TVs. I feel like that would work a lot better.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I think that's smart.
Yeah. And though like I always say that like cloud gaming isn't like my go-to, but that is kind of like a smart thing to do, just to get everyone.
The thing is, it's not my way to play games, right?
Right.
But if it's already included in your Game Pass,
yeah,
it's already there. Why not have it? See, that's the difference between Google Stadia and Xbox cloud gaming.
And
is
probably,
that
and probably Amazon
it was already that. Oh yeah, Amazon Luna. I forgot about that. Jesus Christ. Is that they're integrating it into something that's you're buying the Xbox ecosystem. That's what it is. You're not just buying Game Pass and then only selecting services. You're getting the entire package, whether you want to use them or not. So if it's there, it's there, and you're like, okay, I already paid for Game Pass, so there's no harm, no foul. I just wonder how they would integrate controllers.
That's a really good, interesting thing too, because unless, I mean, Bluetooth might be like the thing, but other than that,
That's like my only question is how would you integrate controller support?
Were they talking about something about using like any type of like controller type of appliance, like even your phone?
I guess. Yeah, that could work.
Technically, you can't do this with Google Stadia as well.
I mean, if I was gonna if I'm gonna play Xbox games, I'm gonna use my Xbox controller.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know. But yeah, that's yeah. I don't know where else to go with that, but yeah, that's a big thing too that's happening.
Yeah, or at least I'm not sure if it's happening. It's maybe in the process, because of course this is one of those things where they talked about it real quick, like kind of like how last year was like, we're gonna do this within the year, and of course like maybe what was it, 17 months later they're like, okay, now we're really going towards it. So I'm really curious about how they're gonna like apply that, and how people will just kind of like approach that type of engagement with Xbox related games. So
yeah, but that
I think that's it.
Yeah, I have one more topic, but
what's going on?
I'm just gonna talk about the Wii U real quick.
The Wii U?
Yeah, real quick.
We
got 2 weeks left, baby.
Oh yeah, you're right. Until you can now add like your like payments through credit card.
Credit card. You can still do like this is what I was gonna mention earlier. You can still do it, but as long as you add money through your Switch and your account has to be linked.
I did that.
Then you can still add money. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the Wii U, you only got 2 weeks left.
Oh no.
To buy things through your credit card, which is unfortunate.
Not the 2 week notice.
The Wii U and 3DS.
Yeah.
Should probably state that. Yeah, probably should pick up some of those really expensive games, or like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of games on there.
There's a lot. It's you couldn't really like put down every single one.
No, I'd have to make an entire video, and it'd be like hours upon hours upon figuring out research and whatnot.
Make spreadsheets and everything like that.
Yeah, like the only thing I can tell you is if you're gonna like, I can only give you like one game per console, like the best ones you can get.
Mm.
And I would say like for NES, if you're looking to get a game, I would say pick up something like Mighty Final Fight
Mm.
because you're not going to pay a real amount. You're not going to pay $300 for that game. Let's just say, let's be real. $5 though, it's not a bad idea. That same one goes for 3DS, mind you. That game's also on 3DS.
Oh,
$5. Well, actually, on 3DS, please pick up the Mysterious Murasame Castle for Famicom
Mm.
because it's the only way Nintendo released it in the States was
Ooh.
3DS, but not Wii U. And it's like the sister game to Zelda. So it was developed by almost the same team. They were developed at the same time. Great game. Very weird, very Japanese heavy, but it's very good. For Super Nintendo, I got you on 2 games real quick.
2.
Harvest Moon,
Oh.
because dead ass, you're not going to pay $500.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. And Wild Guns. If you don't have the recent Wild Guns Reloaded, the original Wild Guns is also on the Switch, by you. It's also on the Super Nintendo app.
Oh, nice.
But Wild Guns is an expensive card. So really it's Harvest Moon. That's the most expensive one. But if I'm gonna give you one for 3DS, Mario RPG.
Oh, okay.
The one Nintendo game that's actually not on the service yet on Switch.
Yeah, you're right. It's only Paper Mario, huh?
Yeah, Paper Mario's for 64. Super Mario RPG is not on the SNES app yet.
Okay.
Crazy. 64, this is only for Wii U. N64. I recommend 2 specific games because I think every other 64 game is going to come to Switch because they're all Nintendo anyways.
Okay.
But the 2 expensive carts that are on there, please, you pick up the only other RPG that's not Paper Mario, and that's Ogre Battle 64 Tactics of Lordly Caliber, I think is what it's called. Something like that. It's a strategy game that nobody knows exists.
I am today's years old.
Yep. Ogre Battle 64. Pick that game up. And Harvest Moon 64. Again, expensive games.
So this is regarding just games that you can find on the Virtual Console through 3DS or the Wii U.
Or Wii U, yeah. I'm just giving you a quick recommendation. I don't want to give you like, oh, of course, buy every fucking game on there. But like, these are the ones I'm going to recommend you because they're the most expensive ones. They're the ones you're never going to actually buy physically because there's just no way. You're not going to spend that much money.
All right, that's fair.
And this is like your chance of getting these are running out.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So those 2 for 64 on Wii U. You know what? Before I keep going on Wii U, let me finish 3DS. Let's do 3DS.
Okay.
I said Mysterious Murasame Castle for NES. Do that on 3DS. For Super Nintendo, I said Mario RPG. For Game Boy, I recommend Mega Man 5.
Specifically Mega Man 5?
Yes, because that game is like a really expensive Game Boy game.
Oh, all right, fair.
One of the more expensive ones. However, I cannot guarantee you if it's going to be released in the future or not, you know?
Yeah, having talked about our bit regarding Game Boy just on Switch Online.
Yeah. So again, these all could potentially come to Switch Online. But if they don't, you at least have a way to play them.
It's true.
That's what I'm trying to get at. Game Boy Color, there wasn't too many, but if you're talking about pricing,
Kirby.
Pokemon's Crystal. Pokemon Crystal.
Yeah. Just all of them.
Really all the Pokemon games. All of them.
All of them.
Realistically, if you're a classic Pokemon fan, get all 6 of them. Don't dwell on it. I would rather you pay $60 for all 6 of them than have to pay the hundreds and hundreds of dollars that they're going for now.
Mm-hmm.
For Game Boy, oh no, that's it, huh? Game Gear, Game Gear is kind of funny because realistically, it's not expensive to collect for Game Gear.
Mm.
If you're gonna get one though, I mean, I guess Sonic Triple Trouble is pretty good. Sonic Triple Trouble is fun. My personal recommendation is Vampire something of darkness. I forgot what it's actually called. It's a Castlevania clone.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
All
Yeah.
right.
And then there's that. That's all the things on 3DS. For GameCube, I stated Mighty Final Fight. For Super Nintendo, you should get Harvest Moon. That's the most expensive one on there. 64, I said Harvest Moon 64 and type Ogre Battle. So okay, so Game Boy Advance,
Mm.
there are two
Oh.
specific games for Game Boy Advance on Wii U.
I think I know which ones. But go ahead.
No, I highly doubt you know. But
Okay,
there
go
are
ahead.
the game's called Car Battler Joe.
Okay, I didn't.
That's like a $250 cart.
Jeez, all right.
And the most expensive game on there is called Pocky and Rocky with Becky.
I really didn't know.
Pocky, it's a new game in that series is coming out, by the way. Pocky and Rocky.
Oh, okay.
It's been all over the media recently because it's like a really cool sprite-based game. But Pocky and Rocky with Becky is like a $500 cartridge. I would not pay $500 for that game. You buy it for $8, call it a day.
Put down the 500 of the PlayStation 5? No.
No, absolutely not.
I bought this one.
I can't. Oh my god, I can't even fathom paying that much for a game. But yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing there. And then for DS, remember Wii U can play DS games.
It's true.
I highly recommend. Okay, the most expensive one you want to get on there is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of the Sky.
Okay.
That game's. I didn't realize that game's like $100 now to get on DS. I really did not know that. That's crazy to me. But the big ones for people who are big fans of the series, you're obviously going to want these on something to have on a big screen.
Mm.
Please pick up Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks for Zelda. Please. Those are fantastic ways to play them because everything's on the touchscreen. And so it's
True.
Yeah. And then for the Wii, because you can buy digital Wii games if you want to go that route. Big recommendation is it would have been Xenoblade Chronicles, but you can get that on Switch Definitive Edition.
Yeah.
So my answer is going to be Kirby Return to Dreamland.
Ooh, okay.
That's a really good one to get. Another really fun one is Lost in Shadows. That's a 2D platformer where you're a shadow, and so you're jumping on walls.
Okay.
And the game kind of works with light, so it kind of like platforms come up, like platforms can disappear, reappear. It's really cool. Really good game.
Okay.
Those are pretty expensive to get now, so I would recommend just getting those on Wii for only $20 a piece.
Bruh. Okay.
And then for TurboGrafx 16, which a lot of people don't even know it's on Wii U because they don't even have a little page. Yeah, they don't have a page. Every other console has like a section. TurboGrafx, you have to literally go into Virtual Console and then they show up.
I don't like the discrimination.
It's really dumb. But for TurboGrafx, my recommendation is any of those fucking games because there's no way in hell you're paying any money for those. But
if you had to, and you have a TurboGrafx Mini, so you already have most of the games on there. But the ones that you don't, I'm gonna recommend Bonks 3 because Bonk 1 and 2 are on the Mini, but not 3. And that's like the mascot of the platform. So. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So get 3 because that's the most expensive. That's a $500 game loose. That's not even with the actual box. And you don't want to know how much it is with the box. Like you're hitting the thousands. So Bonk 3 and Final Soldier, which is a shoot 'em up. Great game. Great game. I was just playing it last night. I actually bought it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Great game. I was hooked. I almost made it through past level 5. And that game is great. I think it's only 7 levels too. So great game. Those are my recommendations. I really like pick up the most, but if you really, really want to get into these, the number one recommended thing to pick up on that on Wii U is Metroid Prime Trilogy. Because if you didn't know, you can just download Metroid Prime Trilogy for only $20.
Yeah.
And who knows if the entire trilogy is coming to Switch. The rumor is only one. It's only Metroid Prime 1, not the actual trilogy.
Man, what the? Okay.
So I don't know. I can't tell you yes or no if it's gonna happen.
Mhm.
But any of the Metroid games, really, just pick them up.
Yeah.
I know that Metroid's a hot thing right now, so people are gonna want those.
Yes, please. I think they'll pick it
And
up.
and for you, Justin, I
Mhm.
don't know if you actually have a way to play these,
Oh,
but Zelda Minish Cap,
uh, is that part of the ambassadors program?
yes, it is.
Okay, I got it.
So you're good.
All right, we're good.
You're good. Yeah, because apparently that game's like a $70 cart now. Who knew? Who fucking knew? That's crazy. I have a physical cart sitting right here, and I only paid like $15 for it. Not flexing, just very curious about the retro market.
Mhm.
It's been getting crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, realistically, you got to pick up whatever you want now. Is what I'm trying to say. Like
Mhm.
they're gonna close whenever this year, and if you don't have access to the like any of, if you don't have a way to actually get money into it, your credit card info, you only got 2 weeks left.
Yeah. I can only really
That's
recommend anything that's just like native to that platform. 3DS and Wii U.
if you want something native, I got one for Wii U. Fatal Frame.
Oh, okay.
Fatal Frame, Maiden of the Black Water. Yes, the game has been re-released on modern platforms right now. It's on Switch, it's on PS5, it's on Series X, but the Wii U version is the one that it was built for Wii U. Hold up.
Hmm.
Yeah. Hmm?
It's just then we get another input.
In a minute. My bad. Hold up.
No, it's good. Okay. Well, yeah, as I was saying, I definitely have some recommendations like on 3DS specifically. I don't have the Wii U, unfortunately. And that's because of just like the reception of the Wii U console. I only got 3DS.
Okay. Sorry. My bad. No, so for Wii U, yeah, Maiden, Fatal Frame in the Black Water. It's on
Okay.
everything, but the game was built for Wii U. So the tablet functions. It's the actual camera. You actually use it for the camera obscura, and it's much more immersive than it was on the other platforms.
I can believe it, yeah.
And it never got released physically in the States.
That's booty.
Yep, it's terrible. And then if you want to, out of curiosity, the game's not that good, but it is the most expensive Wii U game to get physically. Devil's Third.
Hmm.
The game is like a $500 disc now.
Oh.
And it is and for me personally, if anybody doesn't know, my collecting goal is to have every single published Nintendo game, like Nintendo first party published game.
Okay.
That's my collecting goal, right? Devil's Third is one of those games.
Uh-oh.
And I'm no way in hell paying $500 for a bad game. This is not a good game.
Yeah.
But for $30,
Perhaps.
it's not bad for 30. It's not bad for $30. So there's that. And then for 3DS, if you're gonna get a native 3DS games
Okay.
for download only, the Pushmo trilogy.
Wait, what was that?
The Pushmo trilogy.
Hmm.
You get Pushmo, you get Crashmo, you get Stretchmo. Those are all great games to get. The Box Boy trilogy.
Box Boy.
Box Boy, Box Boy, and then Goodbye Box Boy. Please. Those are all great HAL Laboratory games.
Wait, they did that?
Yeah, they created the Box Boy series.
Hmm. Oh wow, okay.
Yep. Those are great. Dylan's Rolling Western series. But the biggest Nintendo game you need to get on 3DS before that shop closes, I swear to God, it's like top 3 and one of my favorite 3DS games of all time.
Okay.
Rhythm Heaven Fever or Rhythm Heaven Megamix.
Oh, okay.
Rhythm Heaven Megamix is so good because it's every single Rhythm Heaven game, all of the best mini games of each one combined into one plus new ones, and it was
Wow.
only digital in the West.
All right, so you have no other alternative here.
There's really no other alternative. It was in Europe. There's a physical copy, so if you have a European 3DS, you can always import it.
Hmm.
But yeah, here it was only digital only, and if you're a big Atlas fan, just pick up any Atlas game.
I kind of did a bit of digging there. Yep.
Just pick up any Atlas game because there's no way in hell you're paying those prices right now. I wanted to pick up some of the SMT games, and
yeah.
oh my god, I fucked
How
up.
about
I should have
4?
picked up. I should have picked up SMT4 when it was $10 at a GameStop when I saw it once.
Ooh.
And my dumbass said, I'll get it eventually. It's only $10.
You woke up one day, you're like, is that
Same
an extra
thing with
0? Is that an extra 0 in there?
Same thing with Persona Q2.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was the final 3DS game that got released in the West.
Ooh.
And I saw it on store shelves, but I was playing my Switch, so I was like, I'll get to it eventually. That was a fucking mistake. Yeah, I know. I talk every time I'm on the show. I talk a lot about preservation, but it's true.
Yeah.
These games are going to be gone. It's going to be way too expensive for you to actually pick up. And I know that there's fans out there. There are Persona fans. Just even the Persona Q games, just 1 and 2, those are already expensive. Like
Yeah, by themselves.
just by themselves. Like you're gonna want to pick some of these games up. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Another really expensive game on 3DS. I know I have a lot to say more about 3DS because the
Sure.
3DS had a bigger library, but
Yeah.
Rhythm Thief. You're not paying like $700 for that game.
Ooh.
Just
Wow.
buy it. Just buy it for fucking 20. I think I got it in a humble bundle, so I got it for like a couple cents.
Listen, someone's paying rent for that amount. Someone's out
Exactly. Like pick these up. Like if you have the time, they're great.
there. Mm-hmm.
These are great 3DS games that you may not know because they're digital only or too expensive to get physically now. If you own the physical copies, hats off to you. But yeah, hell yeah. I don't know.
I was gonna look through my other stuff. Honestly, well,
There's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, there's a lot of 3DS games. I'm looking at my library. I'm like, damn, dude, it even starts all the way from Ocarina of Time 3D. Like,
Yeah, if you want a little bit more simpler something, actually, I'll recommend you something, Justin, real quick.
oh,
I know you. I don't know if you have it already on 3DS,
we'll
but
see.
get 3D Classics Kirby's Adventure.
3D Classics Kirby's Adventure. Okay.
It's literally just the NES game, right? It's just Kirby's
Oh.
Adventure.
Oh, okay.
But it's natively ported. So they didn't actually just like, and it's not running on emulation. It's actually natively ported and it has a 3D effect. So you can actually like you can see the layers of 3D and all of the slowdowns fixed. So it's the definitive version of the NES game.
Oh, okay.
And it's only like what, $6, $8, I think. I don't know.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, it's really cheap. It's a really good game, and it's Kirby's Adventure. It's one of the best Kirby's games of all time.
All right.
That's a big one. Because there's no other way you're gonna get that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I guess 3D Classics Kid Icarus.
Oh, yeah.
That's also the definitive way to play that game, the original.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I was just thinking, like, Uprising.
Oh
yeah,
man,
I was like, pick that up.
yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Also, spare 3DS while you're at it.
Well, the thing is, the Uprising isn't super duper expensive. I don't think. Let me check while I'm talking. But yeah, once the store closes, it's gonna go up in price.
Oh yeah,
that's pretty much a guarantee.
Pretty much the games I don't like. I recommend like 3DS wise is honestly everything Pokemon. That's gonna be first. Link Between Worlds, obviously.
Holy fuck. Yeah, never mind. Pick up Kid Icarus Uprising.
Yeah, all right, Kid Icarus.
You're looking at over $100.
Yeah.
I have it. I bought it day one. That was one of my first. I pre-ordered that game because I played it at a WonderCon and a demo.
And you're like, oh, bet, of course.
And I was like, yo, this is great. I fucking love this game. And I bought it and I did not regret it. It's my favorite 3DS game.
Wow. Okay.
It's so good, dude. It's like Rhythm Heaven's right under it, but like Kid Icarus Uprising is my favorite 3DS game.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's just so good.
I was gonna mention, honestly, like, I don't see any of the 3DS games ever being ported. The only one that I've ever seen like ported was literally Kingdom Hearts 3D.
Yeah, but even then, that's what ported. Yeah,
just for the all-in-one bundle. Otherwise, I've never seen any other one just get ported like that.
It's unfortunate because I don't think they're gonna pull from 3DS for ports.
Yeah,
And
so
like some of these games do deserve such an HD treatment. Like
yeah.
I would love the 3D versions of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, but in HD.
Yeah.
Or even if we're just speaking Zelda, Link Between Worlds. That's my favorite top-down Zelda game of all time.
It's really, really, really good.
It's so good.
I'd feel bad for those who didn't really try like Fire Emblem Awakening or even like Fates.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a big recommendation. Get Fire Emblem Fates. Because once the store closes, you're not getting the third story, Revelation.
Yeah, you're locked away from that.
That's it. That's literally, oh my god, I forgot about that. Because you can get Conquest and you can get Birthright. Those are separate cards.
Yeah.
But Revelation was only put into the special editions, which was not said at the time.
Right. And
So
from there on, you get digital. Yeah.
Yeah, I never pre-ordered it because I was like, I don't really collect special editions. That's on me. I fucked up. So that's a get that. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for Fire Emblem collectors, because that Revelations is technically the canon story of that game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big one. I'm looking at my shelf, it's right here. Bravely Default.
Yep. Also get the second one. I lucked out on the second one.
The second one's not too expensive right now. You can get those.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking for a copy of that. Bravely Second.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I need to get a copy of that. But yeah, Bravely Default for sure. Dragon Quest 7 and 8. 8 is actually really expensive to get now, so that's a good one. I know we're looking away from the camera, but just
yeah. There were some remakes to Mario and Luigi as well.
Oh yeah, lots of remakes. I recommend Superstar Saga, obviously, but
yeah,
Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is also really good. They're both good games. Just get them both. I honestly get them over Dream Team and Paper Jam because they're better games. Dream Team has a fantastic soundtrack, but it's not as good as the other two.
Just generally speaking.
Yeah. Oh my god, Metroid Samus Returns.
Ooh, yeah, I picked that up digitally once we heard about Dread. I was like, there's my reason.
That's a big one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe Samus Returns had like a special like 3DS version of it, as far as like the model for 3DS, and that was the last one, I think.
Yep, you are correct. Yeah, you already said all the Pokemons. That's a good one.
Yeah, literally all the Pokemons because
Professor Layton. Get all of the Professor Layton games. They're all expensive now, so just especially Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright. Now that I mentioned that, eShop only because in the West they're digital only. The Phoenix Wright series, the entire series is on 3DS. You just have to get them digitally. And they're on sale right now.
Yeah, all the more.
The entire Phoenix Wright series is on sale. I picked up the last one I was missing for only like $10.
Oh wow, okay.
I was missing the fourth one, Apollo Justice. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no, I think it's $5. I don't know. They're pretty cheap right now. I would get those now because I don't know if they're gonna remaster the last 3.
I mean, it feels like they ought to, but it's like you never know.
We never know. You never know if they're gonna remaster Apollo Justice, Dual Destinies, and Spirit of Justice. They remastered the first 3, so you don't really have to get the first 3.
Yeah.
But the other 3 they never touched. They're stuck on 3DS and mobile. But I mean, who the fuck plays mobile? So sorry if Mark's still listening.
I was gonna say, speaking of which, wasn't I was thinking Monster Hunter, the RPG one.
Ooh, Stories, yes. I have Stories, yes.
Yeah, one's like whoa.
Yeah, that's one of the best RPGs on the 3DS. It's so good.
I was gonna say that because it's also on mobile, but as you said.
But well, hold on a minute. If you have an Apple phone, you have Apple Arcade. It is free. So
really,
it is on there. Yeah, it is part of Apple Arcade.
If you want to subscribe to someone else.
I have 2 more, and I'm pretty much done with my 3DS collection.
I
recommend WarioWare Gold.
Oh, okay.
That is also like Rhythm Heaven. It's a mix of different WarioWare games put together in one really, really solid package. Also, it's the only WarioWare game where there's voice acting. So,
Hmm.
yep, legitimate voice acting. Like lines of dialogue are spoken. It is so funny to hear Charles Martinez talk like Wario in full dialogue. It is the funniest thing. That's a good one because that's getting expensive to get now too.
Hmm.
And then if you're a Nintendo collector like me, this physical cart is way out of my reach now because Nintendo were the publishers of this specific series in the West. All of these games. If you like any of them, just get them all. Yokai Watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yokai Watch. It is so expensive to get any of the games. Dude, I saw Yokai Watch 3 going for $300.
All right.
That's crazy.
Are you getting the Xbox
There's
Series S? No.
no. No. The Yokai Watch 2 definitive version, I forgot what it's actually called. That's expensive now. Yokai Watch Super Blasters, I think it's what it's called. It's like the 3D shooter spin-off. Those are stupid expensive too. Look like 100 each. And there's 2 versions. Yeah, no, there's no way, dude. Yokai Watch is expensive in the West. They didn't sell that all that well, so people are like getting
Yeah.
those cards. I have Yokai Watch 1 and one version of Yokai Watch 2, but that's it.
I only
It's
got
not
one
it's not
version.
the elusive third version.
It's a third version.
Yeah, because it was like Pokemon. They released a third version that was better.
Oh.
It's enhanced. Yeah.
Oh, that's why then.
There's the 2 versions that came out. I believe it's called before I
It-
get my names wrong.
It's something out of context would sound really weird.
It's Bony Spirits and Fleshy Souls.
Sure, yeah.
And then there was the third one. The third definitive version is called Psychic Specters.
Oh, okay.
I remember. But yeah, those are all expensive now. It's yeah, please. And also the Wii U games that are exclusive to Wii U right now, those are also expensive too.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to get Xenoblade Chronicles X.
I was gonna say I could have figured that was gonna be your recommendation. Just like on the native. But yeah, all right.
Yeah. Well, physically, yeah. But because it's eShop's closing, you might as well get it cheaper for 60.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it though for me.
Ooh, all right then.
I know that was pretty long, and I didn't mean it to go that long, but there's just so many games. What I'm trying to get at is these are going to be gone and way out of your range if you're a fan of some of these series.
Or just trying to get into it.
Yeah, or just you want to play them. Yeah, it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because like I never really even thought about that like growing up, but then you know when more and more like consoles like come out and then other ones just kind of go away.
When you're growing up, we didn't have this problem.
This is also true.
Digital games were not a thing. You know, physical games existed. If you didn't have one, you could always go and try and find it. Retro gaming wasn't as big as it was nowadays. You know, we no one was a collector back then. That's not how it worked. And then even though collecting was still pretty big, like throughout 2017, 2018, 2019, once the pandemic hit, that was it.
Yeah.
Collecting soared. People had nothing else to do. They wanted, you know?
Yeah.
And the market is way up in price right now. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is.
I just wonder if there is a way. I mean, obviously, the issue is that like companies will look at this and be like, "That's not gonna get us money. Okay, let's focus on something new now."
Pretty much.
So it's really up to the gaming community to really uphold like that. And I mean, aside from emulation, how else do you kind of preserve things? People have done stuff like like Analog is an example one where it's like we don't have games, but we have something that a hardware that actually allows you to play those old games.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, like I can't even. Preservation's so touchy because, like, yeah, emulation's a thing, right? It's totally illegal, but if you're gonna use it to actually preserve games, make sure those games still exist. I can't even be mad at you for it. You know what I mean? And then now here comes the subject of like, we live in an era of streaming. We live in the era of media. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People want to see some of these games. People want to actually know more info about this. So people will start collecting those once we start talking about those games and more.
Yeah.
And it becomes bigger and popular, and these smaller series that used to not cost much,
All of a sudden
blow up
and become inaccessible to many.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunate, but yes.
Yeah. I really just hope that like if anything, some companies will look into it and be like, oh, here, let's just like port them over here, or maybe even, I mean, it'd be great if they could remaster, but of course that's resources for that. So
Yeah. A lot of people think that porting an older game to a console is easy, and it's not. Depends on the game, depends on the hardware. Why do you think we don't see Sega Saturn games?
No.
Saturn games are so weird to port.
But I want
because it was built on.
I want my 3D Blast soundtrack.
Oh my god. I hope to see Saturn one day. I hope to see those kinds of games come over, but it's hard to get those games to port considering like the architect they were built on. That Nintendo charges you $60 for a Wii U port because the Wii U architect is not the same as the Switch architect. Whether you think it's fair or not, like, that's just how it is. They're not going to waste their time and energy porting that game over. So, yeah, I think that's it for my part.
Yeah.
Just pick up whatever you can.
Right. But yeah.
I mean, don't go broke doing it. I don't want you to have to sell a kidney, but
just do what you can. Just kind of like, if I had to recommend anything, just kind of scope out like what you're kind of interested in, just genre wise, and just piece out like whatever popular ones that have been established on other older platforms. In this case, it'd be 3DS or Wii U, and be like, okay, well, I have one of these, so
maybe you're a person who doesn't even retro collect. Maybe you don't have anything that's older than a 3DS or a Wii U.
Oh,
there's a lot of those retro games on there. Some of those games that you may like, but you just don't have an original console for. You know, they're on there. It was Super Mario World, Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, Zelda. All of those games exist on these platforms. Yes, you have a Switch. Obviously, if you have a Switch and these are already on there, that does not apply. Obviously, but even then, maybe you don't pay for the expansion pack, and you just want maybe one or two of those 64 games. The Wii U's right there. Those games already exist on Wii U.
I think it's interesting that the way we live in the world now, yes, there's a bit of thing about streaming. There's also a thing about just kind of focusing on like the new game that brings in the money for these companies. But there's also like YouTube videos of like part one of a walkthrough of this game, and it's like that indirectly is part of preserving the game's history. It's there.
Exactly.
So if you ever want to look at Minish Cap, for example, you've never heard of Zelda Minish Cap, you don't even know what the box art looks like. You look it up, or you just type it into YouTube,
always,
for example, and you just see
there's
like
gonna be a review somewhere.
Yeah, a review. And just, I mean, like, you're not really playing through the game, but it's just like another part of engaging with that. And the fact is that it's on the internet, and that was something that wasn't, I'm pretty sure it wasn't 100% like implied to like for preservation purposes. It's just someone's experience through it. But
what in the fuck did I come back to?
Oh,
we're talking about the preservation of video games because the Wii U is closing.
Ah, okay.
Because there's 2 weeks left to get something off the Wii U and 3DS store with your credit card. If you have a Switch, once again, just to reiterate, if you have a Switch and you have your accounts tied or linked together, you can just add money through your Switch wallet or use eShop cards.
Phil's bank account has never looked so empty.
No, I already have a lot of the games I want. I'm just trying to pick up some stragglers, like stuff that is going to be way too expensive physically.
Oh, I just figured you'd buy the entire stock.
Yeah, you would think, but
he would. But
I would, but
and he mostly has.
Yeah, like I'm saying, like there's a couple games we were doing recommendations, but yeah.
Yeah.
The Dave Chappelle. Do you guys not know about that?
Well, yeah, I know about that.
Well, yeah. That was the thing that happened.
Dude, I mean, I do think that is something to slightly talk about. Cause I am worried this is gonna become a pattern.
Really?
Yeah,
I
because
mean, think about it. Chris Rock got smacked by Will Smith just for making a joke. Now Dave Chappelle made a joke and he gets tackled.
Oh, I see what you mean. I'm seeing the pattern.
I will say though, much like Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle took it with grace,
I will say, yeah, I acknowledge that. It's like,
Yeah.
oh
and then he
wow,
stomped the dude backstage.
you mean his people did? His
Oh, he did
his
too.
security.
He went back there. I'm pretty sure he got a couple in.
Oh really?
Mhm.
I didn't know he went into the back. Like, hold on, give me a second.
It definitely scares me for comedy.
Oh yeah, especially because Dave
comedy-
Chappelle's a comedy legend.
Yeah,
Comedy is satire. You know what I mean? Like we make fun of everything and anyone. That's
right,
not kind of the whole point of comedy.
right.
And the fact that Chris Rock went up to Dave Chappelle because he had the mic and says, "Was that Will Smith?"
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn.
But like, I don't know. South Park's still running. We should be fine.
Yeah, but I'm just like, especially because that guy was armed.
Yeah, he
Hmm.
was.
He had it was a fake gun, it was a replica gun, but he did have an actual knife.
Like,
Attached to it. Yep.
So I was like, that's getting dangerous. Like, I just think everyone needs to not take, because I'm pretty sure what Will Smith was trying to do was not say it's okay to attack comedians, but unfortunately, it's a consequence of his actions.
yeah. Even if he were to publicly say it, what, like, you know, unprofessionalism over there, and he's like, yeah, I apologize to everybody, but
Don't attack comedians.
yeah.
Mark,
Yup.
question.
Yes.
Did you have a 3DS and a Wii U?
My brother had a Wii U that I played on. Unfortunately, I never owned a 3DS.
Aye.
If there was a Wii U game to recommend somebody to buy, what would you recommend? Some anything. It could be anything. It could just be something that you played and you liked.
It would probably just be Smash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Smash is always a safe bet.
that's actually really smart considering if the store closes, you can't get those DLC characters anymore.
Oh, you're right.
Oh dear God, you
Oh.
brought up a dark future.
Oh God.
You brought up the dark timeline.
And that sucks because that means that game is not complete if you try to buy it in the future.
ROM hack.
Yep. So yeah, there's that.
Nintendo encouraging piracy.
Arr.
That's pretty much what it is, and that's bad. But at the same time, I'm like, damn, yikes.
You know, it's fun in their war to fight piracy. They're also encouraging piracy. It's truly ironic.
Yeah.
I think they're indirectly encouraging it. Our missing part of the booty.
You know the actual earliest pirates actually were Asian, from the Asian region. It's where they actually piracy actually was birthed.
Nice.
What a great way to end the podcast.
Cool.
Just a history fact.
I understand. It's just that in context with me in the room.
You hear that, Justin?
Oh, okay. Wow, ladies and gentlemen.
I heard that. I heard that loud and clear.
Wow. Anyways,
Mark, you're lucky you're not.
Before this gets even worse.
You're lucky to not be on a comedy stand right now.
Why is that one dude in the crowd looking real froggy?
Just
don't you do it?
End the show.
Don't you do it?
End the show quick.
All right, it's the perfect way to end it. Thank you guys so much for watching,
Like,
for listening to this episode.
Don't you do it?
DangIT Prodcast. This episode was 410. My name is Justin.
Mark.
And I'm Philip.
Thanks for watching. #bye everybody.
Later, guys.